I think this is easy, too. Kirk Cousins, he's on there, right?
Yes, sir.
Dak Prescott.
2 for 2.
Out of sight, out of mind, but did win a Super Bowl. If he's healthy, Matthew Stafford.
3 for 3.
Okay. So how many in tier 3?
3.
So far, by the way, my NFC quarterback tiers, Hurts is 1. Then in tier 2, I had Stafford, Kirk, and Dak Prescott. So I am in agreement.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia, that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
WVU Medicine invites you to join us for the ribbon cutting and open house of the Expanded Heart and Vascular Institute at Berkeley Medical Center. Tours and refreshments will be available following the ribbon cutting Thursday, May 11th at 11 a.m. The Expanded Heart and Vascular Institute is located on the Berkeley Medical Center campus on the first floor of the Dorothy McCormick Center, 2000 Foundation Way in Martinsburg. WVU Medicine is proud to offer world-class heart care close to home.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball!
It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm, Laddie's, Trips Flooring, Jambo Construction and Fencing, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Honda of Winchester, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, Rock's Local Markets, CMA Toyota Chevrolet of Martinsburg, Orsini's Home Store, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and by Hagerstown Ford.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
We welcome you to Musselman High School for West Virginia High School baseball tonight on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 as we welcome you to the countdown to first pitch brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Alongside me is Trip Tobin, Dylan Bishop as well. Our cameraman is Spencer Dupuy, and back at the studio is Nick Versellini. It is the last regular season game that we have for you. It's the last regular season game for Washington, second to last as of right now for Musselman. Last conference game for these two teams as the seeding already set, but I don't think these two teams will be holding back at all tonight trying to get the win. Trip, how about you?
Nah, I mean, we're talking to them over there. You know, we had a little delay. I was out in the field talking to these guys. They're wound up, ready to play, and I heard them talking and said, you know, if we can't get the game in, let's just go out here in the outfield and play some wiffle ball because we're going to play. We're here. And so they're competitive and they want to get after each other, you know. And, you know, they're friends on and off the field. I mean, you know, before the first pitch, but once that first pitch starts, they're both going to want to get after it and get that victory. And you know, we say it doesn't mean a lot, but these kids, every time they step on the field, they want to win. You know, we see nights when they certainly don't have their A game, or they're a little, you know, little dry and not quite ready to play. But it's a long grind. But right now they're all excited. They know the season's ending, and they're kind of soaking it in, and they're here towards the end of it. And I think you're going to see them get excited and have a good game here this evening.
Yeah, Musselman in the rankings comes in second in the section, third in the region for Washington. They're second in Section 2 and fifth in the region, as those came out earlier this week. So even though when it comes to this game being meaningless on that end, we know that these two teams are friends on and off the field, and will have bragging rights after this one. And we know a lot of them play on your post-14 team as well, so they like to go up against each other for the most part, and then get to talk about it later on in the year.
Yeah, they'll talk about it, but tonight they're gonna fight for their school, and they're gonna try to get that momentum going in. You know, Washington would love to get a win here, and prove to the world that they're not quite the 5 seed, or that they were voted on, and show them that they can upset some people, and you can't count them out in that section. Spoke with Colin Reed a little bit before the game. He's going to throw some this week and see how it goes, and he's been slowly but surely getting ready to get back in there. So if he can get on that mound and do what we know he can do, I mean, he can really make it tough for Jefferson in that region. And tonight, I think they talking to the Washington guys, they got a lot to prove themselves, and so I expect them to come out and get after it
tonight. It's not Colin Reed getting the start. It's a freshman in Connor Smith that's getting the start for the Washington Patriots. It will be his first start in his varsity career, going up against a very tough Musselman lineup that we know really is aggressive at the plate. And on their side of things, starting on the mound, is the senior Dylan Stevens, as it's senior night tonight for the Applemen. So a senior going up against a freshman should be interesting to see how both fare out there.
Yeah, I mean, Connor Smith, we seen him on air against the Martinsburg in that game, and he did a great job in there. We've seen him at Myrtle Beach a little bit throwing, so we know he can get it done. He's left-handed. I'm not sure that Dylan goes too far into this. I'd be surprised if he went to the point where he completely eliminated himself from a Tuesday night appearance. So I'd look for him to go 40, 50, 60 pitches maybe, and then Coach Hartman to go to the bullpen. But I'm not the coach, I'm not sure, but that would probably make more sense for him not to go that deep, and then probably warm up for him senior night, and an opportunity for him to get out there and show Washington that should they win the region and they face each other in the region, what they're going to face.
They had some really good pitching performance and defensive performance a few nights ago from Baden Hartman, who against Moorfield was able to pitch a perfect game for the Applemen in that 13-0 win for them. To still go 7 innings, though, in a game like that is impressive, and 12 strikeouts for him. He's in the lineup today at shortstop for the Applemen, but something that is a huge accomplishment and something that you rarely will ever see, if ever see.
Yeah. Talked to, like I said, all the games that John Lowry Sr. has been involved in high school. Speaking with him down at the Spring Mills games, he can only remember 2 in his career, and I think he said one of them was a 5-inning with Charlie Barnhold and the young man, last name's Davis. And so, I mean, that just shows you how rare it is. We talked about it, but Baden has put himself into a situation where he's in the running for, I would say, EPAC Player of the Year. Him, Jackson Rue West, and certainly Michael Lupus. If you're looking at 2-way guys that can do it on the mound and at the plate, those 3 guys are going to be in contention. If that's going to be the criteria for EPAC Player of the Year, Baden Hartman named right up there.
All right, let's take our first 2-minute break here on the Skinner Law Firm pregame show. When we come back, it'll be time for our coaches' interviews. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
Happiness grows here Orr's Farm Market.
Spring has sprung. Time to head to Orr's Farm Market to find your flowers, veggie plants, bagged mulches, and potting soil. Visit our bakery counter to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't forget our pie flavor of the month, Boston cream pie. We have West Virginia food products, local coffee, honey, maple syrup, dairy, and meat. We have 25 new Orr's jam and salsa flavors for you to try. Check us out at orrsfarmmarket.com, and remember, Orr's Farm Market, happiness grows here.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Welcome back to Musselman High School for West Virginia High School baseball action between the Washington Patriots and the Musselman Applemen. Let's continue our countdown to first pitch and get into tonight's coaches' interviews, brought to you by Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg. If you're looking for some fun nightlife and great food at affordable prices, then dine in at Laddie's or carry out by calling them at 304-263-5233.
Now joined by the head coach of the Washington Patriots, JT DeSarno. Coach DeSarno, sitting here getting ready for the postseason. You got a game left on your regular season against a conference opponent. What are you looking for in tonight's game against Musselman?
Just looking to come out and compete. I know it's the last game of the regular season for our guys. We've had an up and down year, but have some seniors that are looking to break some school records this year, so hopefully we can get this one in and they can add to their numbers.
With the season coming to a close, did it meet your expectations for your team, or are there still things that you wish maybe would have went differently and things that you're hoping to right some wrongs with in the postseason?
Yeah, so we obviously coming in had a lot of youth that has gotten a lot of experience this year, and bodes well for the upcoming couple years down the road. But as far as this year goes, it's been a roller coaster ride. We've had some really good games against some quality opponents, and then we've had some tough nights that we probably should have performed a little better against the competition, especially locally. It seems like we play our best games against the kids we don't know, and but when it comes time to play the local teams, we, for whatever reason, don't quite get the job done.
What are some of the, biggest differences positively that you've seen from your team up to this point in the season from where they started off?
Defensively, I think we've really matured. We're making 4 and 5 errors every night, game in and game out, but we've kind of cleaned that up. It just seems like our offense is kind of sporadic. One day we'll score 10 runs, the next day we will get shut out. So, but defensively, I think we've really showed it up from the start of the season until this point now.
What are your expectations for your starting pitcher tonight, Connor Smith?
Well, Connor's one of our younger guys that's getting his first start of the season. He's came in and I put him in some pretty crucial and pressure-packed situations, and he's performed well. So I told him last night he was going to start today, and I'm going to give him a clean slate so he can come out and kind of take this be his game for, ramp him up and see what he can do, and maybe use him next week as well.
All right, anything else, Coach?
No, we got sectionals coming up next week, and the beautiful thing is that we have some 20-win teams in the area. We've struggled a little bit in the win column, but come Sunday night, we're all the same record. So just got to win a couple games before you lose a couple. So hopefully we can pull that off and shock a few people.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Now joined by the head coach of the Musselman Applemen, Josh Hartman. Coach Hartman, your team gets to take on Washington tonight, a delayed start because of the weather, but what are you excited for in this matchup for a final conference game of the year?
At this point, just to play. As much work you put on the field to get it ready. It took all day to get it ready, and then the rains came, and I guess we probably spent about $2,000 or so right there on stage riding kitty litter to get this thing ready. So I'm just looking forward to playing tonight right now.
It's also senior night for your team, a lot of seniors in your program. Just talk about how much they've all meant to your program and what you're going to miss about each and every one of them.
I mean, every one of those kids, man. I feel like I've been with them since, well, literally a couple of them since they first started playing ball. You know, just a special group. The leadership they bring to the field, the leadership they bring into the clubhouse, leadership they bring on road trips, all those things. You're definitely going to miss all those things. Every one of them, I love them all like they're my own, and I wish them nothing but the best, and I'm excited to play tonight and see where we go from here.
It's always intense when you get to go up against a conference team in Washington, both you and them, at this point of the season, trying to get a little bit of a boost heading into the postseason. So what are you hoping to see from your team today to get the win?
I hope we hit through the lineup. Dylan on the bump start now, so hopefully we can get us deep into the game as well and make plays in the field. I want to see that. I want to see productive outs for the ones that, if we don't get hits off, at least produce something for us. Help us out any way you can tonight.
All right, anything else, Coach?
Anything. Looking forward to it. Hope we get it in.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was our coaches' interviews here on the countdown to first pitch. We'll step aside and take another 2-minute break, and then we'll be back to continue the pregame show. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway, 1/2 hour from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300. That's 304-728-7300.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go through the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rox, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome you back to Musselman High School as we continue the pregame show here as the Washington Patriots get ready to take on the Musselman Applemen in Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference action. Let's get into the EPAC Baseball Roundup now, brought to you by Jambo Construction and Fencing, LLC, a veteran-owned company that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452. Martinsburg season's done. Spring Mill season is done as well. Hedgesville's game, due to the rain earlier today, has been postponed, so only one other game in the Eastern Panhandle, and that was Jefferson on the road against Smithsburg earlier this evening. They got a 5-3 win with 7 hits and 2 errors. Smithsburg, the 3 runs, 5 hits, and 6 errors. The win on the mound goes to Shipe. He pitched 3 innings of relief, giving up 1 hit, striking out 1, and no runs and walks. As for Morgan, he pitched 4 innings, giving up 4 hits, the 3 earned runs, striking out 4, and walking 3. So the number 1 team in the region, the Jefferson Cougars, able to end the week that kind of was a down week for them with a win.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled a little bit there at Spring Mills and struggled, at Highland, and, tonight sort of the same thing. So, they're not, they're going in with a couple wins, but they probably are not really happy with, their performances. They'd probably like to be hitting the ball a little better and scoring a couple more runs.
All right, let's now get into today's weather. Your weather brought to you by CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg on Foxcroft Avenue, home of the lifetime limited powertrain warranty with every new vehicle that we sell at no additional cost to you. Right now, partly cloudy skies after the rain. Temperatures have dropped down to 51 degrees here in Inwood, West Virginia. That is your weather. Let's now get into tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. Let's start off with the visiting Washington Patriots, who come into today's game 11-16 overall, coached by J.T. DeSarno, leading off for the Patriots, batting first at second base. Number 4, Sven Dupree. Batting second and catching, number 9, is Cameron Moore. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 14, Colin Reed. He'll be DHing for the shortstop, Josh McCarthy. Batting cleanup in left field is number 3, Cameron Gill. Batting fifth at first base, number 2, Andy Clem. Batting sixth at third base, number 7, Brandon Dunbar. Batting seventh and pitching, number 25, Connor Smith. Batting eighth in right field, number 23, Michael Poltar. Batting ninth in center field, number 10, Jackson Earl. That's your starting lineup for the Washington Patriots. Now for the Musselman Applemen. Leading off for the Applemen in center field, number 14 is Kyle Lohr. Batting second at shortstop, number 13, Baden Hartman. Batting third, catcher number 9, Taryn Boyles. Batting cleanup for the Applemen in first base, number 8, Jason Myers. Batting fifth, third base, number 4, Wyatt McClintock. Batting sixth. In right field, number 3, Trevor Bohr. Batting seventh. And pitching, number 11, Dylan Stevens. Batting eighth. In left field, number 1, Eden Seitz. And batting ninth at second base, number 2, Austin Moberly. Dylan, I know earlier you had a question because during warm-ups we didn't really see these guys on the infield.
Yeah, you could just tell the guys were just warming up on the outfield only. You can see if you're watching on TV 10 how much work's been put into the infield here. They were emptying up all the bags of quick dry that they had. They got cat litter to try to put some extra work to dry up this infield. So I was wondering, Tripp, you're probably the one with the most knowledge on this. So I was asking Colin about how the conditions of the field here are just going to affect the game itself. We're going to see the ball move slower on the infield, or what do you think we can expect for the field conditions to impact the game itself?
Well, I think the grass will be a little bit wet, so you can see the ball skip away, in the outfield, things like that, and maybe, But as far as the infield goes, these guys, their footing is going to be a little off. Coming around first base, a base running is going to be, a little sloppier, trying to steal bases. But, of course, as far as the guys, the baseball itself, it can, with that stay dry out there, you're going to have wet and dry spots. So it's kind of odd, But good thing in having that stay dry out there. Not only does it, get the surface playable now, but it'll absorb it, should we get a short shower or something. I always worry mostly about the hitter and the base runner, and of course the pitcher is where we really the concern is there. Is Dylan out there on the mound, and Connor Smith. If you lose your footing, you're not comfortable there, then it really becomes really tough to pitch. And then of course if you're in the box and it's slippery and you're sliding in and out of the box or running, I think that's where it's kind of the worst part of it.
Alrighty, let's step aside, take our final 2-minute break here on the pregame show, and when we come back, it'll be time for first pitch between the Washington Patriots and the Musselman Applemen. Again, a 2-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back here as we get ready for first pitch between the Washington Patriots and the Musselman Applemen. First pitch is brought to you by CMA Chevy of Martinsburg. Make your way to CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg on Foxcroft Avenue today for quality vehicles, a friendly team, and professional service at every step of the way. Chevy, find new roads. As on the mound for the Musselman Applemen is Dylan Stevens. Coming into today's game, it's his 6th start on the year, 3-2 overall. He's pitched 28 1/3 innings, given up 22 hits, 19 runs, 14 of them earned, 32 strikeouts, 17 walks. He's one of the best pitchers in the area. Trip.
Oh, by far. I mean, he's one of the guys that the other teams fear. They want to know if he's on the mound. You know, when he's locked in, you know, he throws downhill, got a hard biting curve ball. You know, off-speed pitches working, and he throws an above-average fastball that moves. And he's just a really tough guy to hit when he's on. And, you know, he's going to be a staple on, you know, even on our team this summer. But right now he's going to be a really tough opponent in this EPAC sectional and possibly the region should Musselman advance.
Weather is finally calmed down, as earlier rain was making itself known here in the area. That's why this first pitch has been delayed. It was originally scheduled for 7 p.m. with the senior day festivities beforehand, but due to the rain it got pushed back. You heard Dylan mention earlier the fact with all the quick dry, they had to borrow some quick dry from the Little League program in South Berkeley, and I think if I heard correctly, they had to go to either Food Line or somewhere and get some kitty litter too out there for the field.
Yeah, probably the Inwood Food Line down the road a couple of minutes.
They did all they could. You know, hats off to Josh Hartman and all those guys out there, Jordan Butler and Mike Mackey and Kenny Stanley and just everybody who was involved in that.
Sven Dupuis swings at the first pitch. It's a grounder to the shortstop. Baden Hartman is throw to first. Sits down Dupree for out number 1.
All right, tough job. I mean, Sven Dupree is a freshman going up against a very seasoned veteran on the mound with Dylan Stevens come out swinging. Caught the ball on the screws there, just one hopped it, and Hartman just swallowed it up and made a strong throw over.
First pitch coming at 7:35. Stevens pitch to Cam Moore is a fastball taken for strike 1.
Had these two guys on the air together.
Yeah, we did, as they both made their college commitment earlier this year on Sports Mix. We had them on as this pitch, fastball for strike 2.
Cam said if I remember correctly, he said he didn't really care for hitting against Dillon. So we'll see if he's able to break that streak of Dillon getting the best of him here tonight.
0-2 pitch. Just misses for a ball. The count now 1-2 to Moore.
Stevens wanted that one.
Tried to get the outside corner. Let's see if he goes there again. Stevens sets. Wind up, and the 1-2 pitch is a fastball just fouled off at the last second by Moore to keep the at-bat at 1-2.
Yeah, this is a good matchup here with Stevens and Moore, and then, the on-deck man, Colin Reed, two of the best he'll see in the EPAC.
Pitch high and outside. The count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moore, the only Patriot with a home run this year. Left-hander in the box. The pitch from Stevens. This one a line drive into right field, almost underneath the glove of the right fielder, Bohr. But he's able to scoop it up from behind him and hold Moore to a 1-out single.
Yeah, Moore's a tough out. Dillon knows he's a tough out. He challenged him there a little bit. Dillon had him for 3 of the 4 pitches of the at-bat there. Then looks like, 2-2 count. Cam Moore just won the evens there on that one. So 2 good baseball players going after each other.
Brings up the designated hitter, Colin Reed, as a throw over to first. Gets by Jason Myers, but Moore, after sliding into the base, struggled to get back up, so he was unable to go to second.
Cam giving him a little smile there.
Looks like we've got to get a new baseball after that. Probably going to see that a few times today with the wet conditions of the field.
Dillon has got some nice white baseball, so
another throw over with that new baseball.
Need to rub that thing down a little bit. Between it being slick out of the box and being, a little damp, you'd think he'd want to give it a little rub down, but.
First pitch to Reed. Misses low for a ball. Reed's batting .488.
Reed's got those shoes on we seen last night from the Trum ball from Clear Spring.
Breaking ball catches the zone for a strike, evens up the count at 1-1 to Reed.
Dillon's got to be really careful here with these speed on the bases and power, at the plate.
Grounder foul down the third baseline makes the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colin Reed.
Follow Musselman, of course, when we do their games and then on Game Changer, and I'm not sure how many times Wyatt has played third this year, but it's one of the first times that I've seen him over there in this lineup when Dillon's pitching. So, Wyatt McClintock is being a good utility man here for this team.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Colin Reed for the strikeout and out number 2 here in the top of the first.
That's big. Colin's been seeing the ball well. Follow him, follow their Game Changer, follow him. You text him occasionally, talk about his at-bats, and he's just been seeing the ball well. So, talked to him before the game. I said, you've been heating up. He said, I'm seeing it well. So that's a big strikeout for Stevens.
Cam Gill now at the bat. He fouls off the first pitch into the netting behind home plate. Runner on first, 2 outs in a scoreless top of the first between Washington and Musselman. Stevens looks over to the runner at first. Does so again. Sets the 0-1 pitch. This one right in between first and second into right field. Runner going to third, cut off. Throw high into the dugout on the third base side. It stays in play. It looks like we might have a injured player too sliding into third base. Was Moore slow to get up, and looks like he's trying to put some weight on that right leg of his to make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Nice piece of hitting there by Cam Moore. Just went with that pitch. Or excuse me, Cam Gill went with that pitch and run it out into right field. And Cam Moore testing the arm of Trevor Bohr out there. And, speed as he turned second to third. Got cut off there by Baden Hartman. He just threw a little high over to McClintock and hit that fencing there along third base side dugout, like you said. And so they got men on second and third.
Andy Clem up the bat now. First pitch misses outside for a ball. As that last at-bat for Gill ruled a single, he then advanced on the throwing error to second. So now runners on second and third with 2 outs. Stevens in the stretch. Clem Fouls this one over to the third base side. Out of play. The count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Go move my truck. Spencer, can you go move my truck? Since you're just there texting.
Should be running camera. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind up and the delivery from Stevens. Again fouled off over towards Tripp's truck.
Yeah, a little farther away.
Count now 1 and 2.
Big at bat for Clem. He can, with 1 base hit, get you 2 early runs against one of the best pitchers you're going to see all year.
Left-handed batter here, Clem. Didn't play last year, senior on this team. Been contributing. Gotten this lineup solidly now.
Stevens fastball. It's a grounder to the first baseman. Myers scoops it up. Steps on the bag to retire the side, so 2 are left. Stranded in the top of the first. It is Washington nothing, Musselman nothing. Led to the bottom of the first after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch!
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
Welcome back here as we head to the bottom of the first inning between the Washington Patriots and the Musselman Applemen. Still scoreless after Washington was threatening there in the top of the first, but Dylan Stevens was able to get out of the Jambo Jam. We now get to see the freshman Connor Smith on the mound for his first start of his varsity career. And he gets to go up against Lohr, Hartman, and Boyles to start things off for the Applemen.
Yeah, this young man's got his hands full. We talked about last night Christian Alter had his hands full with that Clear Spring, but Connor Smith's got his hands full with this hot-hitting Musselman team.
Smith out there warming up will have a few more warm-up pitches defensively around him for Washington. You have Cam Moore catching, Andy Clem at first, Sven Dupree at second, shortstop's Josh McCarthy. Third base is Brandon Dunbar. So we apologize for the audio issues there, trying to get them to work right now and do it live on the air to see if we can hear everybody. So guess we'll make sure our levels are fine. Yeah. So might have to turn it down some on the audio board, but apologize there for the top of the inning. Smith's first pitch, a fastball low and outside to Lohr to start off the bottom of the first with a 1-0 count.
I think Lohr's probably one of the top, if not the top, center fielder in the EPAC, if not in the state, the way he's been performing this year.
Lohr sends a pop-up into the shallow left center field. Backing up is Josh McCarthy, the shortstop. Looks up, makes the catch for out number 1.
Anytime you can keep Lohr off the bases, you can assure yourself that you've done a great job, because whenever he gets on, he generally comes around to score. I don't know the stats for him getting on base and then coming around to score, but I'm sure that that is a very high percentage.
Bat's .458 on the year. Now up to bat is Faden Hartman. Smith's fastball is called strike 1 to Hartman.
Another bat here in the Musselman lineup that's just a really hard out with the speed and his ability to hit the baseball, not strike out.
Rounds this one off home plate and then backwards. It goes foul. The count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Got a new baseball out there for Connor Smith, so taking his time before reaching up to the pitcher's mound. Now step on the rubber. Smith sets the windup and the 0-2 pitch. It's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. McCarthy is throw to first, pulls the first baseman Andy Clem off the bag. He tries to tag Hartman, but can't do so. Hartman reaches first safely on the throwing error by McCarthy.
Yeah, that speed of Hartman just forces you to, to speed up your throw. Anytime you can speed up the defense and force them to, in panic mode, then you can force them to make mistakes. And you see that ground ball there that got across the diamond. The ball's probably a little wet. McCarthy comes up throwing, threw a little high.
I'm not sure if you saw what I saw there for McCarthy. It might have had a bad exchange because when it went into his glove, you could still see it moving up his glove and almost ice cream cone snag it.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit. It stayed down, and then, like I say, we talked in the pregame how this ball's going to react on that that field full of turf. It's going to stay dry.
Taryn Boyles pop up to the right field. It's caught by Poltar for out number 2.
He slipped out there, so the field conditions are a little slippery. And you see him kind of camp under it, and then his foot come out from underneath of him for a second. But he was able to regain some balance there and make that play. Wouldn't be surprised if Hartman steals, at some point at this at bat.
It's Hartman on first. You got 2 outs in a scoreless bottom of the first between Washington and Musselman, and now Jason Myers up to bat for the Applemen. Smith looks at the runner. His pitch fouled off down the third base side out of play for strike 1 by Myers.
Myers turned on that pitch.
I think these conditions can give the batter a little more incentive to swing a little more often. Just make contact, get in fair territory, and who knows what could happen. Have a fielder slip out there.
Yeah, anytime you can get the ball in play, you can certainly make them catch the ball and field the ball and throw the ball, as Coach John Lauer would say. We can't strike out and we can't give free bases, and when we're at the plate, we have to put the ball in play and make a high school baseball player make a play, make a decision, make a catch and a throw.
Smith's delivery swung and missed by Myers. It looks like maybe he got a piece of it into the glove of Moore, but it's still strike 2 nonetheless.
That swing there, he was looking to knock the robin nest out of that tree out there.
Hartman takes his lead off first. The 0-2 pitch from Smith misses high for a ball to Myers.
Myers has home run power. We've seen it. Surprised he hasn't found the yard this year. So got one last home game, one last regular season game to pull it off. Got a game here Tuesday night against Martinsburg in the section.
1-2 pitch inside. Count now even at 2-2.
And they have a game tomorrow at Preston. Yep. So got a couple opportunities. Right now, Coach Hartman would just like to see him get the ball in play and maybe get some hit and run going here and get the runner started. Maybe see if Myers can get this thing on the ground or in a gap somewhere.
Pitch misses high from Connor Smith. The count now full to Jason Myers at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I bet it goes this time. Want to bet, Spencer?
0 times 1. 3 times 2 is 0.
0 times 1 is also 0, as the payoff pitch fouled off. Runner was going. It has to go back to first. Count remains full.
Left-handed pitcher and Cam Moore behind the plate. It's you see a little respect there by Hartman. He's generally off and running at this point. But it's a little harder to run on lefties. 2 outs. You don't want to get picked off or get thrown out with a big bat at the plate. So playing the game straight up and seeing if Myers can drive him in.
Pitch high and inside. It's a ball forward to Jason Myers. He'll walk his way to first. Hartman heads to second. Still 2 outs, and Wyatt McClintock up to bat.
This young man came in last year as a freshman, had a couple of appearances in the section on the mound, but has solidly become a player in this. Has solidly became a player in this lineup that has really produced throughout the year.
First pitch to McClintock from Smith, high for a ball. As Smith steps on the rubber from the back of the mound. 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, called a strike to even the count up at 1-1.
Correction, Myers has found the yard this year. He hit a home run while we were here. Against Light Ridge. It feels like light years ago.
1-1 pitch, fouled off into the netting. Count now 1-2. Spencer getting some text over there, making sure that we keep our stats as accurate as possible.
It was a second inning home run against Light Ridge.
Just how I remembered it. Big at bat here for McClintock. We've seen both teams have get base runners on the first inning.
1-2 pitch, breaks outside for a ball.
Disciplined for a sophomore. He's very, he plays the part well. He plays all over the field. He can catch. He can pitch. McClintock is just going to be a valuable player on in this roster for the next 2 years.
Fastball high for ball 3. The count goes full to McClintock now. Still with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first. Scoreless between Washington and Musselman. There's runners on first and second for the Applemen.
They'll get a head start here. It's a 3-2, 2 out.
Pitch from Smith. Just misses for ball 4, and that loads the bases after back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the first. Trevor Boer is now up to the plate for the Applemen.
Can't give those free bases. The air and the 2 walks is, if you give that to Musselman, we know what they can do with the bat. And, if they can get a couple runs across, we know how much of a shutdown pitcher Dylan Stevens can be. So, it's Connor Smith needs to shut this inning down as quick as possible if he can.
Fastball misses high and in for ball 1 to Boer.
I'm thinking if I'm Boer, he's going to have to throw me some strikes before I start swinging. 2 walks back to back, make him come to me.
The 1-0 delivery from Smith. It's a grounder to the shortstop. McCarthy's throw to second. Beating the runner to the bases, Dupree, to retire the side. So 3 left stranded for Musselman in the bottom of the first. It remains scoreless. We'll head to the second after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
May is National Trauma Awareness Month, and WVU Medicine is joining the effort to help bring attention to this year's theme, Roadway Safety is No Accident. With a documented rise in motor vehicle crashes and fatalities throughout our nation, the theme is both timely and appropriate. Our roadways continue to become overcrowded, drivers are more distracted, and safety hazards are growing. Prevention is the key. Safety is a choice. This message for National Trauma Awareness Month is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Spring has sprung. Time to head to Orr's Farm Market to find your flowers, veggie plants, bagged mulches, and potting soil. Visit our bakery counter to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't forget our pie flavor of the month, Boston cream pie. We have West Virginia food products, local coffee, honey, maple syrup, dairy, and meat. We have 25 new Orr's jam and salsa flavors for you to try. Check us out at orrsfarmmarket.com, and remember, Orr's Farm Market, happiness grows here.
Welcome back to Musselman High School. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman is Spencer Dupuis. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. So we head to the top of the second, still scoreless between Washington and Musselman. Now up for the Patriots, the 6, 7, 8 batters in the lineup, Dunbar, Smith, and Poltar.
We've seen Dunbar be the leadoff guy on this team, half the season, so we know that this was a good spot for him to be leading off here, even though he's not the actual leadoff in the lineup. He's the leadoff this inning, so, that's a good spot for Washington to be in.
First pitch is fouled off by Dunbar into the net behind home plate for strike 1.
One thing we've learned about this Washington team is, they don't fall off much. I mean, those guys, they're pretty much equal across the board as far as, except for Cam and
line drive into center field, running forward, diving. Did he make the catch? He did. Kyle Lohr with the snag. What a play for out number 1.
Great play there by Kyle Lohr. He's read that ball come flying in, and he gets a tip of the cap from Brandon Dunbar as he stole that hit from him. He gives him the sign back. So disrespect between the two players there as Brandon Dunbar hit that ball right on the nose and has nothing to show for it because of a great top 10 play there, played by Kyle Lohr.
That brings up Connor Smith, the pitcher for the Patriots. The left-hander steps in the box. The pitch from Stevens is a fastball right down the middle for strike 1.
Lohr certainly could be in the running there, with that EPAC player with that 458 average, probably the best in the EPAC this year.
Smith able to hold the bat back on that pitch. It breaks outside. The count now even at 1-1 strike to Smith.
And his defensive prowess out there in the outfield is just something that any pitcher would want behind him. So he also can be in that running.
Fastball misses high from Stevens to Smith. The count now 2-1.
Certainly, the first team outfielder in the EPAC, along with a few other guys that just get it done, out there at night after night, like Canby and, a couple of the others out there. And Gage Gano and some of the others that just defensively are unbelievable, when the ball's put in the air.
3-1 pitch, swinging and fouling off to the dugout on the left side is Smith. Lands in the grass. The count now full at 3-2.
Young man on the Washington team, the Jackson Earl, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with as he moves through his high school career as well. So got some youth out there in the outfield in the EPAC this year and some seasoned guys.
Payoff pitch from Dylan Stevens. Fastball misses inside for ball 4 to Smith. It is a 1-out walk. Michael Poltar now up to the plate for the Patriots.
Comes a runner.
We have a courtesy runner checking in for Washington. I believe that is number 24 for the Washington Patriots out on first base now.
Jameson Earl, maybe.
24 is Wyatt, or excuse me. Looking at the wrong thing. Yep, you're correct. That is Jameson Earl.
I believe it was Jameson Earl, Jackson's brother.
Courtesy runner, courtesy of the Post 14 Hornets, your Premier Legion baseball team in the area, is first pitch to Poltar, high for a ball. One out. Runner on first in the top of the second. Still scoreless between Washington and Musselman as a breaking ball. Looked like it was going to hit Poltar, but caught him frozen. As it breaks inside at the last second, caught a strike to even up the count.
That was a great pitch by Dylan. Frozen. Definitely frozen.
Now he goes to the fastball on the outside corner. It's called a strike. The count now 1-2. Stevens able to battle back.
Found a little groove here.
He doesn't stay off track for very long.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Poltar for the punch out. Second of the day for Stevens. Out number 2 in the top of the second.
Went from a little bit of different delivery there. He went from kind of over the top to a little more of a 3/4 as his delivery dropped down a bit on that pitch, and he threw, I guess, like a slurve there, and just a little too much break on it for Poltar there to handle.
Jackson Earl swings at the first pitch. He'll send a fly ball to right field. It's caught by Trevor Bohr to retire the side. One left on base. Still scoreless between Washington and Musselman as we head to the bottom of the second inning now. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on the bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
Welcome you back to Applemen Park as we head to the bottom of the second. The bottom of the lineup is due up for Musselman, the 7, 8, 9 batters, and Stevens, Seitz, and Moberly. It's the freshman for Washington, Connor Smith, got into a Jambo jam there in the bottom of the first, but he was able to get out of it and have Musselman strand 3 on base.
Yeah, we've seen have him play and 5 base runners stranded. And, seen a couple of real nice play there by Kyle Lohr to give Dylan a little hand that inning. So that's what you need when you're pitching and you're throwing to contact, as Dylan was there on the first pitch swinging there. So it's a great job there so far by Musselman, as Baden Hartman's made a real nice play. And Kyle Lohr has made a real nice play behind Dylan. So, and Dylan does a good job of settling in here and getting the bottom of the order for Washington.
I think he accidentally forgot to count the runner left on last half inning, so it's now 6 runners left on base, not 5 anymore.
Yeah.
We have 5 in the first now, 1 through half of the second. Smith sets, in the delivery to Stevens is a fastball catching the outside part of the plate for strike 1 to Dylan Stevens. That's pitcher against pitcher.
Smith got ahead of a lot of those hitters in the first inning, even though he ended up walking a couple. They were patient.
Swung on and missed for strike 2 from Dylan Stevens as he chases that one on the outside.
You ever seen Buck Hoffmaster behind the plate there? He's not giving anything line to line here. He's pretty staying there on the black. And so these pitchers are going to have to get the ball over the plate here tonight.
This one fouled off way out of play on the first base side. The count remains 0-2 to Dylan Stevens.
See Dylan talking to Cam Moore there a little bit, as they are probably chatting about that at bat, where Dylan got a couple strikes on him, and then Cam was able to get that 2-strike single.
Connor Smith sets. The 0-2 pitch to Dylan Stevens, way outside, as that one, it looked like, just might have slipped out of the hands of Smith for ball 1.
Yeah, he didn't get the grip on that one. He was trying to throw a curveball. You could kind of see it come out of his hand, and then he just never got the grip. So a reset here. He was trying to throw a ball, away and force Dylan to chase it.
Fastball that stays high. The count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stevens.
Again, that pitch the glove didn't move much, but again, the umpire here tonight, Mr. Hoffmaster, is just not going to give it, a ball or so off the plate.
2-2 pitch to Stevens, low for ball 3. The count now full after Dylan Stevens has worked his way back from an 0-2 count.
Dylan has power. He can take the ball to the fence. He can get extra base hits.
Payoff pitch is sent into center field. Jackson Earl has to make his way back on it a few steps and makes the catch for out number 1 to sit down Stevens and bring up Seitz.
He got a lot of that one. He's got too much air under it. He sent Jackson Earl back into the deepest part of the ballpark, but just a little too much air in it, and it hit us up in the air as far as he hit it deep.
Seitz will step into the right-handed box for his first at-bat of the evening against Connor Smith. Third baseman Brandon Dunbar in on the grass may be expecting a bunt from Seitz. He takes the first pitch. It misses outside for ball 1.
Seen Seitz earlier this year take a couple cuts and it kind of hurt his shoulder or kind of threw it out, and then we actually seen him trying to bunt. When he came into pitch one time, it's his off-throwing shoulder that had hurt him, but tonight he's in the lineup swinging the bat, so that's good news.
Send a line drive into right center field. It gets down and rolls to the center fielder Jackson Earl. Seitz rounding first will pull back and stay on first. It's a 1-out single for Aiden Seitz.
Good piece of hitting there. Went with it. Ball middle away, and he just stayed with it and went to the right center field gap. Got me coffee delivered by my sweetheart here tonight. Not quite as pretty as Roxanne can be, but he'll do tonight, as I got my coffee here delivered by Jason Myers' dad. Everybody thinks he's kind of salty. He's always arguing with Spencer on Twitter, but I really like him myself. I think he makes good points.
Austin Moberly up, fouls off the first pitch to the first base dugout. It goes out of play for strike 1. Runner on first. We're in the Bottom of the second inning between Washington and Musselman, still scoreless here at Applemen Park as Moberly steps back into the box against Connor Smith on the mound. Smith looks at the runner, the stretch in the pitch. This one a fly ball into center field. It's shallow. Running in on it's Jackson Earl. It's going to bounce in front of him, and it's back-to-back singles for the Musselman Applemen in the bottom of the second to put runners on first and second base.
Yeah, you got to wonder, when Stevens sent Earl, backtracking towards the warning track for that long fly ball that Stevens hit, and then you had Seitz who sent one to the gap there that he didn't keep him back a little bit, and he didn't get a great read on as it went up, but then he broke for it. And it was just too late as Moberly found some green out there on that pop fly single to center field.
That brings Musselman back to the top of its lineup.
He balked.
And Connor Smith balked, so that means that there's now runners on second and third.
I thought earlier in the first inning when runners were on second and third that he may have balked, and so Keith Allison's right there behind him, caused the balk, so now Connor Smith's going to go from the windup, and this really causes trouble for Connor Smith because you got probably the best average batting average in the EPAC up to bat with an RBI possibility here, or 2 RBIs.
Lohr will foul this one over to the first base dugout. It goes. Count now 0-1 to Lohr. It's 0 for 1 today. Popped up to the shortstop his first time up in that bottom of the first. Connor Smith looking at Cam Moore for the pitch. The 0-1 delivery. Curveball that stays high and inside. Count now 1-1.
I tell you, the guy I wouldn't want to be right now, and that right there is Andy Clem. As he's pulled up, I would probably just back up. As we know the power that this young man has at the plate, so I would just, and plus it makes it really hard if he pulls the baseball for him to make a play, down that line.
There it goes, right over the head of Andy Clem and down the first base line. 1 run scores. The throw will be cut off by Clem. The second one comes home to score. It is another single for Musselman, 2 RBIs, and they now lead 2-0 in the bottom of the second over Washington.
Yeah, I bet you Kyle Orr seeing that, run that first baseman up, was thinking, I'm going to pull this baseball, down his throat, not maliciously, but just thinking from the plate that's the place, best chance for me to get a base hit and pull the ball down that line. And he found a pitch he could handle in and did just that.
Trip Stradamus called that one.
Baden Hartman looks at the first pitch. It's low for a ball from the freshman Connor Smith.
When the guy's batting nearly 500, you can be right at least 50% of the time.
Not only were you right, you knew exactly where it was going.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch. This one sent into left center field. Backing up is Gill. That's over his head and one hopping to the wall. Quickly turns around, throws to his cutoff man, but it is a double for Baden Hartman, the 4th straight base hit in the bottom of the second for the Applemen.
Yeah, Musselman, that's something that they can do to you. Connor Smith, the freshman out there, he's gonna realize real quick how hard of a offensive attack this Musselman team has, and it doesn't get any better with Theron Boyles as he is. He can get it done. They're sophomore, batting third in this lineup, and that's saying a lot because they have a lot of options to go to in that 3-hole, and for them to put it on his shoulders as a young man just tells you how good of a batter, offensive batter he is.
Infield's in on the grass. Runners on second and third. Still 1 out in the bottom of the second. Theron Boyles up the bat. He'll take the first pitch high for a ball from Connor Smith. Smith taking his time on the mound. The 1-0 delivery to Boyles. This one popped up to the right side in foul territory. Andy Clem tracking it down. He makes the catch for a big out number 2 as the runners have to stay put on second and third.
Yeah, he just missed that one. The Bulls isn't happy with with his swing there, or excuse me, his with that swing and with the pitch that he swung out there on the outer half and up, and he got the ball straight up in the air and give Washington an easy out there. But these guys here swing the bat, and you really have to try to miss their barrel, and they're just a tough out. For him to get through the first time, was an accomplishment.
That allows the infield for Washington to go back to its normal positioning. First pitch to Myers, a ball.
The story of the first inning and a half was getting runners on base but not even being able to drive them in. But now Musselman finally able to get 2 guys across. But now with 2 outs, you got 2 more.
Myers fouls this one off. It goes over the stands on the first base side. The count now even at 1-1.
Yeah, you're not gonna get. You get the bottom of the lineup on there, and you have to face Lohr, Hartman, Boyles, Myers in that group, even McClintock coming up with base runners on. If you can get out of that, it takes. It's just a tremendous effort, to get out of that, and they're just too good at the plate. When you have to pull the infield up or anything, they're just too good.
Pitch, a breaking ball that misses low and away. The count now 2-1 strike. Myers walked his last time up. Smith sets the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Earl was over in left center. He has to go to right center, able to hustle over, make the catch to retire the side. So 2 were stranded, but 2 crossed the plate. As we head to the 3rd inning now, it's Musselman leading Washington 2-0. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, then be back for the 3rd. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
Welcome back as we are now in the top of the 3rd inning between the Musselman, Applemen, and the Washington Patriots. Musselman now leads Washington 2-0. Top of the lineup due up for the Patriots in Dupree, Moore, and Reed.
Good job by Musselman, not leaving base runners on that inning. If they're going to, the free bases, the 1st inning, I think he was fortunate, Connor Smith, that he was fortunate to get off of that, get out of that jam, but you're not going to get out of that jam every time, when you start looking at Lohr and Hartman and those guys coming up with base runners on, and especially in the drawn in infield, and those guys will attack the baseball and make it really hard for you to get them out, especially with the base runners on.
Sven Dupree grounded out his first time up. Steps up and infield corners in on the grass. He'll take the first pitch from Stevens. Goes right down the middle for strike 1 to start off the 3rd.
A guest appearance here in the press box. Luke Combs is here. I'm about to put a picture on Facebook of me and Luke here in the press box. Tune in.
1 pitch misses inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like some action over in Washington's bullpen as well. Pitch from Dylan Stevens misses outside to Dupree. Count now 2-1. Can't really tell from here who that is. Kind of covering my angle is the protection for the bullpen.
Right-hander. Might be McCarthy.
2-1 pitch fouled off. The count now even at 2-2 for Sven.
Someone who's wearing the high knees. McCarthy wears his pants up like that, and he shows the stocking, so it could be him. I can't see the number.
2-2 pitch. It's a grounder right back up to the pitcher, Dylan Stevens. Throw to first to retire Dupree.
Hats off to Dupree, though. I mean, this young man, we've watched him some, and he's a freshman. He's carrying himself really well. He's getting the ball in play. He's not striking out much, and I'm just glad to see, this talent that we have in these younger levels, and it's really in the junior, sophomore, and freshman class. So it's not just heavy in any certain class. We've seen talent up and down the EPAC in all 4 classes: senior, junior, sophomore, and freshman.
Now up to the plate is Cam Moore. First pitch is called a strike to him. 1 pitch misses outside, the count now even at 1-1 to Moore.
I do think that's a number 1 out there in the bullpen, from what I can tell.
I think it's McCarthy.
Pitch misses inside, the count now 2-1 to Moore.
This was the one I'm sure that that Cam Moore or Dylan would like to get and even the score here as Cam is 1 for 1. Dylan would like to even that score and make him 1 for 2.
2-1 pitch catches to the outside part of the zone. The count now even at 2-2 to Moore. Moore with one of those 2 base hits so far today for Washington, as Tripp just said. The 2-2 pitch just misses outside. Count now full at 3-2 as Boyles tried to quickly frame that pitch, but Buck Hoffmaster behind the plate was having none of it.
See Dylan kind of bent over like, I want to get this guy, you know. So there are certain people in his lineup that these guys, you know, that they want to get out for, you know, strike out.
Grounder, the first baseman, Myers, his throw to the pitcher, Dylan Stevens, steps on the bag for out number 2.
That's a good play. I mean, you know, that's maturity, too, on Stevens' level because, you know, a couple of years ago, he might get mad at me for saying this, but, you know, throughout the years that when he pitched, you know, it was always like, you know, once you throw the baseball, you know, you have to play your position and you have to get over or back someone up. And occasionally he would get caught out there, but he's really cleaned that up, worked hard, and now that just shows, you know, the work that these coaches have done with him and others and able to run that PFP perfectly.
Colin Reed now up to bat for Washington. They check his swing. He did not go around. The count now 1 ball and no strikes to Reed.
Here we see the other way around where Reed wants to even the score as Dylan struck him out the last time.
This one catches the zone for a strike. Count now even at 1-1 to Colin Reed.
When you get Colin Reed striking out swinging, you know, you got some pretty good stuff. I've seen him at the plate a lot of times, and he don't strike out much swinging.
This pitch goes wild past the glove of Boyles into the backstop. The count now 2-1. Got 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the third. It is Musselman leading Washington 2-0. Reed steps back into the right-handed box against Dylan Stevens. Stevens sets. 2-1 delivery. Hard grounder down the third base side. It goes foul. Count now 2-2.
Reed like to have that one back. He jumped out on that pitch. He kind of read it. You know, his footwork, you could see he kind of knew it was a little bit off speed coming, and then he just got out in front of it a little much.
Reed looking for a timeout. It's granted as he steps out of the box. He'll step back in.
Got 2-2 count. Situation here where telling them, you know, win the evens, the 2-2 count.
2-2 pitch. Sent into left center field. Backtracking his sights. And that one goes off the wall. And Reed has a stand-up double for the Patriots with 2 outs in the top of the third.
And that's what's going to happen if you throw to Colin Reed 4 times at night. You really risk him, you know, going 1 for 4, 2 for 4. You see him talking to Dylan, you know, as he goes back by. Hey, you got me the last time. You know, he's even the score. Dylan's giving him a little smile back. So Dylan was able to even the score with Cam Moore as his first at bat. He gets singled, and then Reed was able to even the score this time with Dylan as his first at bat. He struck out, and then it was able to double. So Dylan knows those 2 guys are going to fight you. So
doubles record for Washington.
There you go. Thank you, Spencer. I knew Coach DeSarno was saying earlier that some of his seniors were trying to go for a record, and it sounds like Colin Reed just broke the record for doubles in Washington Patriot history as he gets that ball thrown into the dugout. So congrats to him as the pitch misses to Gill for ball 1.
Great accomplishment there for a young man. I did hear his interview, and kind of the back of my mind I wanted to ask, like, you know, what are the records if anybody knew, but we certainly know what one of them is, that the doubles record has been broken.
Swing and a miss on this one. The count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Certainly doesn't surprise me with Colin Reed. I don't know what all the offensive records are down there at Washington. They've had some really good guys come through there, and you're swinging that bat. But he's got to be one of the tops up there in most of the categories. That's for sure.
And he almost didn't get the record because he was a few feet away from that one being a homer.
Yeah, he probably took just a little off when he hit it, knowing that he needed that record.
Just as he planned it.
Runner on second, 2 outs. 1-1 count to Cam Gill. Singled his last time up and reached second on an error. Swings through this one. The count now 1-2. He chased after that pitch.
Yeah, Gill coming over from Jefferson this past fall, and been able to be productive in this lineup as well. And on the mound, we see him down Myrtle Beach, though, heck of a game.
2 pitch. What a catch there. Austin Moberly jumps up, snags that one to hold a runner on. If that one got past it, most likely would have scored Reed, but instead it remains 2-0 as we head to the bottom half of the third. Musselman on top of Washington. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Welcome back as we head to the bottom half of the third. Austin Moberly able to keep Musselman's lead at 2-0 after a great job leaping up and snagging that one from the air. I thought for a brief second that was going to go right above him for a base hit, but instead another tremendous defensive play that we get to see today.
Yeah, it's the third one. I mean, the lower play was probably the top play of the night, and then you can't take away the one hopper that the line drive that started the game that got into the belly of Hartman, and he just stayed in front of it, bodied it up, and got Sven Dupree to start the game. And now we've got this this leaping snag of the line drive there by Moberly, which kept Washington off the board there. So they're getting it done with the glove, and right now Musselman kind of where they were start the last inning, as they had a couple guys that get here to the bottom, they can get back to that top, they can do some real damage.
The 5, 6, 7 batters do up McClintock, Bohr, and Stevens, as Connor Smith still out on the mound for Washington as of right now, even though we saw McCarthy warming up during the top of the third inning. First pitch misses for a ball.
You got to wonder how far Dillon's going to go. I mean, with those sectionals coming up on Tuesday, I mean, it's Thursday night, so you got, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, he can certainly go the distance, but that's probably something you probably wouldn't maybe not want to do. But, of course, they've got a lot of arms in there that they can go to, but at the moment he's cruising along.
2-0 pitch misses low. The count now 3-0 to McClintock, who also walked his last time up, trying to do so again here with a 3-0 count against him. For Smith on the mound, the 3-0 pitch is outside for ball 4 to walk Wyatt McClintock to lead off the bottom of the third.
You've gotten yourself 2 runs for Dylan Stevens to work with. Now you have a chance to keep adding on. Again, can you drive in those runners to get on base? Other than those 2, both these teams have been leaving a lot on the bases.
Yeah, I mean, Connor Smith's not going to be able to put these runners on with this lineup. The 3 bases will kill him. As these guys 2-0 lead, they'll pin their ears back and they'll get after it.
Bohr will square to bunt, pulls it back. The pitch misses outside for ball 1. Bohr grounded out to end that first inning, his last time up in the 6-4 fielder's choice with the bases loaded. Pops up this pitch. It goes out of play and over top of the press box. The count now 1-1 to Bohr.
Musselman, especially with a little bit of a lead, they don't sacrifice a lot. They hit the ball around. They take free bases. If you're going to give them to them, so you know, they like to get up there and swing the bat and you know, hit themselves on, drive runs in that way. And you know, tonight, Connor Smith and Cam Moore behind the plate kind of shut this running game down a little bit. They like to run a bit too, but right now you got a left-hander up, and Bohr.
2-1 pitch, called a strike. The Bohr, the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The Bohr's got to be looking for something to pull as well. As you got Clem holding, and you have Dupree and double play depth, so you've got, you know, pretty much 50 feet there to hit through on that right side.
2-2 pitch, grounded down the first baseline off the glove of Andy Clem, and they called it foul. I thought that was fair when it hit the glove of Clem. It'd be nice to see that replay, but it's called foul.
Yeah, home plate umpire Buck Hoffmeister called it foul right out of the gate, and Josh is going to come down and ask him, but absolutely nothing he can do about it. He can't, you know, there's no appeal, there's no, you know, there's no ruling here that Josh can appeal other than that's how home plate umpire seen it, and we don't have that angle, so, you know, but he immediately called it because you seen Trevor kind of let up as he come out of the box.
Count remains 2-2. The pitch from Connor Smith. This one in between shortstop and third into left field on the ground. It is a base hit for Bohr to put him on first. McClintock heads to second. Still nobody out in the third.
Nice job there by Bohr. You know, he had that big hole to hit through, but with 2 strikes he had to protect that zone as Connor Smith tried to paste that outside corner, and he just went with it. So we're going to see Coach DeSarno come out and maybe some changes because we see gloves being exchanged. So maybe Andy Clem's coming in, or Andy's going down the bullpen. Not sure, but he took the first base glove off. But they warmed up McCarthy, so.
Yeah, we'll step aside, take a 1-minute break to be aware of the defensive changes along with the pitching change. We are in the bottom of the third. It's Musselman 2, Washington nothing. Again, a 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
We welcome you back in the bottom of the third. There's a pitching change for Washington. Your pitching change is brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. Now pitching for the Washington Patriots is #1, Josh McCarthy. Now at first base is #25, Connor Smith. And at shortstop, it looks like now for the Washington Patriots, I believe, is #12, Gabe Schoen. I think that might be all of the changes. I don't see any others. It looks like you still got Gill in left, Earl in center. It looks like actually there is one more change, as in right field now. Instead of Michael Poltar, from first to right field goes Andy Clem. So there you go. That's all your changes, as up to bat is Dylan Stevens for Musselman. Still nobody out, and runners on first and second. Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. Alongside me is Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman is Spencer Dupuis. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. And it sounds like you guys are kind of doing your best to learn why there's vote.
You know, regardless, I think we're going to see some great baseball, and I don't think it's you know, I can make a case. I've told you before for all these teams, but you know, let's get it at some point in time to where the kids know the goal to get those seedings and to get those home games.
First pitch from McCarthy to Stevens was called a strike. This one misses inside. The count now 1-1 to Dylan Stevens.
And speaking with the AD Steve Campbell here, he agrees. You know, he says, hey, let's get it, similar to softball, where all the sectional teams play each other, and then you vote 1 through 4 on this section, 1 through 3 on that section, and we use math, head-to-heads, and overall records and head-to-heads, and run differentials, things that we've grown up with in tournaments and everything else, where there's a goal and there's a prize for winning and not beating your sectional opponents, and that makes those Friday night games really important, and then of course it'll turn around and make those regional games important as well. So ultimately, I love each one of these programs. I love watching them. I just want to be sure that the kids decided and not, adults or someone who's mad at someone and gives someone a bad seat or whatever. I don't even really know if that happens, but it could happen, and there's no real criteria to it.
Curveball from McCarthy right down the middle to Stevens for strike 2.
This is a tough spot for McCarthy to come in at.
Yeah, McCarthy's coming in here at 2-0 down and guys on base and nobody out. He's got his work cut out for him with this Musselman lineup up and down, and it just hits the baseball.
McCarthy's 1-2 pitch popped up and out of play behind home plate. The count remains 1-2 to Dylan Stevens.
Pretty good job by Dylan. He kind of froze on that curveball, then he realized that there's an opportunity that may find the corner on the inside corner, then he just fought it off. So it was a defensive swing, and that's what you want when you're a pitcher. You want the guys to swing defensively. You don't want them to be able to tee off on you, and so good job on both guys there. The pitch was a great 1-2 pitch, and it was a defensive swing there that kept the bat alive for Dylan.
Runners on first and second, nobody out. The pitch from McCarthy, fastball fouled off down the first base side, out of play. Count remains 1-2 as Stevens quickly had to make sure he could get a piece of that strike.
That was a fastball away that he was a bit late on, but again, defensive swing there, and he kept it going. He's a strong enough young man that even if he misses it, he can find some green out there if he doesn't square it up.
McCarthy sends, checks the runner behind him. Here comes another 1-2 pitch. This one a grounder to the pitcher. He'll just decide to throw over to Smith at first for only 1 out. The other 2 runners advance to second and third on the 1-3 FC.
Yeah, that's good job by Dylan by not by fighting back there. And nobody's got a real read on McCarthy here tonight, so nothing. He hasn't been able to see, and he's the first guy up to see him, and not sure what's working for McCarthy tonight. So Dylan went up there, took a couple hacks for the team, for himself, and then he got defensive and took some defensive hacks for the team, and then just kind of pushed the ball to the right side and took McCarthy off the mound. He got some guys moved up, so he got a quality at bat there.
Infield corners will come in. McCarthy's pitch to Seitz. Big swing and a miss from Seitz for strike 1.
But they are learning that McCarthy has a nice curveball.
Yeah, so far so good, as runners on second and third now both would be charged to Smith if they come home to score. McCarthy taking his time in the stretch. The pitch, this one almost gets by Cam Moore. He has to drop down and smother it. Count remains 1-1.
Athletic young man back there. He's a go-getter. Last night we seen a catcher from, 2 good catchers last night. One from Clearspring and of course Martinsburg with Sifford. We didn't see a lot of balls get to the backstop, so you're not going to see a lot tonight either with these 2 catchers.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. McCarthy, the set and the delivery. Called strike 2 on the outside corner to Seitz.
McCarthy's got to live there. If, Seitz is kind of bailing a little bit to the left, called, a little league term would be stepping in the bucket for those listening on the radio. But if McCarthy can stay away from him on the outer half, he's going to have success against, Seitz's stance.
This pitch misses low. The count now even at 2-2 to Seitz. Seitz last time singled his last time up. He was the first of those 4 straight base hits to score those 2 runs in the bottom of the second for Musselman.
Let's see if Cam can relay that information that he can see with Seitz's feet there, and if he can start a curveball at the plate and work it away, it would be devastating, for Seitz there, because I don't think he could reach it as he kind of steps away from that pitch.
2-2 pitch from Josh McCarthy. A grounder to the shortstop, showing Throw across the diamond to Smith in time, but coming home to score is McClintock in the bottom of the third. Musselman now leads 3-0 with 2 outs and a runner on third.
A little bit of a mistake there by, pitcher catcher. I'm not sure what Cam told him out there, but they needed to stay away from him and not allow him to pull that baseball, at that point, and especially with the defense back. But good job by Seitz. 2 strikes, getting the ball in play just like Dillon did, and that Dillon not striking out and just getting the ball in play moved the runners, and then that ground out moves the runners. So get them on, get them over, get them in, kind of baseball that you usually see with kind of bunts and sacrifices. As Musselman does it just with the ground outs.
Austin Moberly now up to the plate for the Applemen. Moberly takes the first pitch. It's low for ball 1.
It's just one more insurance run for your pitchers out there when you get back up on defense.
Line drive over the head of Sven Dupree into right field. It is a 2-out RBI single to make it 4-0. Musselman leading Washington in the bottom of the third.
There's another.
Yeah, when you look at some of these number 9 guys across the EPAC, just amazes me what they can do. With Gano over at Hedgesville, and the number. Of course, Washington has used a couple of these guys in the number 9 hole, and you got Moberly, who's been a staple in this lineup all year long in the number 9 spot. But these guys turn the lineup over regularly, and they contribute to their team, and that's what makes them very valuable in that spot.
Brings up Kyle Lohr. He had the 2 RBI single his last time up. Takes the first pitch. It misses for a ball. So, 2 outs, runner on first in the bottom of the third.
I think of Martinsburg in that 9 hole with Keegan Everhart, the things that he can make happen at times as he's been in that spot a good bit this year. So that's just an important spot. People think, oh, he's batting 9th. He's not a good hitter, or he's not this or that. But that's just not true. There's a reason why those guys bat 9, and that's the speed and the ability to move runners and kind of set up men for the top of the lineup, and they have a job to do there, and those guys do it really well.
2 balls, no strike pitch. It's a fly ball into left center field. Calling off the left fielder Cam Gill is the center fielder Jackson Earl. He makes the catch to retire the side. Not before 2 more runs were able to cross the plate in the bottom of the third. Musselman extends its lead to 4-0 over Washington. We'll head to the 4th after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
We welcome you back as we head to the top of the 4th inning. It is Musselman leading the Washington Patriots 4-0 after Connor Smith had to be pulled. Josh McCarthy came in. Connor Smith's final numbers on the mound, going 2 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, no strikeouts, and 3 walks. Now up to the plate, due up for the Washington Patriots as they try to start the comeback is the 5, 6, 7 batters in the lineup, and Clem, Dunbar, and Smith.
There you go, 4th inning of Dylan Stevens.
Dylan Stevens so far so good for him on the mound for the Musselman Applemen, only giving up 3 hits, struck out 2, and walked 1 so far through 3.
Yeah, Dylan's at 50 pitches, so he's cruising along here in the top of the 4th. For a guy who strikes a lot of guys out, who goes for strikeouts, say that 50 pitches in the, after three is not a bad spot, because strikeout guys currently they throw more pitches, than guys that throw to contact. So, his pitch count will get up because of the way he approaches and sets guys up, and that's generally you see him going to the sixth or so and then getting relieved because of his style, but. Unlike last night where we seen two guys throw to contact and they were in 70 pitch mark in the seventh inning, and that's he's just a different approach, but very good pitcher is Dylan Stevens, and he can strike guys out and shut things down real quick, especially with a 4-run lead. He could really get serious here and just go after these guys.
Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andy Clem. Stevens sets, wind up and the pitch. Fouled off by Clem. It looks like it might have got a piece of him. I think right in the spinal cord.
Hard to do that, isn't it? To foul a ball off and hit yourself in the back.
Can't see it coming.
No.
Yeah. Count remains 1 and 2. It looks like we have more action over in the bullpen for Washington, unless it's just McCarthy continuing to
That's what I was looking for. I do think that's just McCarthy over there is staying loose. I noticed that.
Stevens sets on the mound. Taking his time here against Andy Clem. The 1-2 delivery from Dylan Stevens. Swung on and missed for the strikeout. That's the 3rd of the night for Dylan Stevens.
I'll give you. I'll say one thing about the EPAC and these two teams, different sections, but these two teams do swing the bat up and down the lineup. I mean, they do just continue to send guys to the plate that can do damage. We don't see that in every lineup in the EPAC, but this year we've seen it. More than before, where the bottom of the lineup is
Dunbar
produces.
grounded right back to the pitcher. It goes. Stevens throws to Myers at first for out number 2.
This is one of the years where the EPAC has seen some of the bottom of the lineups be productive in the past. You've seen 4 or 5 guys that can get it done, and you try to get those 7, 8, 9 guys out, and so you don't have to face the top. But we've witnessed a lot of games ourselves where the bottom has done more damage than the top. So. Just some good competition in this area. Good baseball.
Connor Smith fouls off the first pitch out of play for strike 1. Smith walked his last time up. Pitch from Stevens. Missing high for ball 1. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. You got 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 4th for Washington as they trail Musselman 4-0. 1-1 pitch from Stevens. Inside through the glove of Taryn Boyles into the backstop it goes. The count now 2-1.
Apologize everybody at home that Luke didn't make it here in time to sing the national anthem, but he did make it in time to run the camera. Just not doing a great job of it, but he is a singer, not much of a cameraman.
2-1 pitch. Outside for ball 3 as Tripp, for those who might not know, making jokes saying that our cameraman Spencer Dupuis, Sven's in, okay? Relax. This one caught a strike. Looks like Luke Combs a little bit to some. I'm not telling him what happened. You've told people plenty. 3-2 pitch. Misses outside as Connor Smith walks again.
Yeah, Connor's done a good job up there of taking some pitches there, making Dylan Stevens throw some pitches. So I guess now that he's not pitching, playing first base, he's not going to get that Curtis run that we've seen earlier. So he's going to have to run around the bases himself. He's a big freshman, and the sky's the limit for that young man over there as he moves through his high school career.
First pitch swinging after the walk. Is that in there now? Gage Showen in for Michael Poltar. Count 0-1.
Another young guy that Washington has in that freshman class, and just getting it done here this year.
Swings through this one. The count now 0-2 as he was unable to hold the bat back.
These freshmen here and these varsity players for Washington going to play on the 17U teams. We get to see them throughout the summer as well and watch them develop.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3, the 4th strikeout of the night for Dylan Stevens. Throw over to first on the drop, 3rd strikes in time, and that retires the side. We'll head to the bottom half of the fourth. The score remains 4-0 Musselman on top of Washington. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 1 minute.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, Go Bulldogs. Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway, 1/2 hour from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300. That's 304-728-7300.
We welcome you back to Applemen Park at Musselman High School as we are entering the bottom of the fourth. The 2-3-4 batters due up from Musselman, Hartman, Boyles, Myers as they lead Washington 4-0. Here on this kind of chilly Thursday night.
It's not Mayweather just yet. And, we've been experiencing some really, probably one of our coldest nights down there at Spring Mills the other night. So it's just a rough game to get through, and you could tell also that the players out there were struggling a little bit, but shouldn't be this cold on May 4th. But
the rain did make the temperature drop just a bit.
It was nice to be up in a press box for tonight's game, unlike on Tuesday. That was. But,
It was not a fun one in the rain.
Imagine being out on the bleachers with the camera like I was. That was fun.
First pitch, called a strike to Hartman.
I was the only one that felt bad for you. The rest of them were laughing. But
pitch misses inside the count now. 1-1 from Josh McCarthy to Hartman.
Hartman wears that white shiny hat. He's not hard to lose out there on the bases.
Sends a line drive into right center field. It gets down. He is going for two. The throw will be cut off. It's a stand-up leadoff double for Hartman to kick off the bottom of the fourth for the Applemen.
I wonder who has the most doubles, Hartman or Reed, in their careers.
I guess we don't know the Musselman doubles record.
I don't know how many doubles that Colin has, but it's a bunch apparently.
Yeah, that's what we were informed. So earlier he broke the all-time record for Washington with most doubles in his career. Taryn Boyles now up to the plate for Musselman Applemen. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off for a strike. McCarthy gets a new baseball, steps back on top of the mound. McCarthy came into relief last inning for Connor Smith. Cam Moore for the pitch. Now we got a timeout called by Boyles. Boyles 0 for 2 today. Flew out to right his first time up and popped up to first base his last time up. Pitch, a breaking ball that stays high out of the zone. The count now even to Boyles at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Nobody out, man on second. This part of the lineup. If Baden Hartman doesn't score, that would be a huge win for McCarthy to keep his team, within 4 there. That's kind of the magic number because you can always win with 1 swing, and with 4 if you can get bases loaded. But once you get beyond that, he starts to be more of a blowout style. Running away with it where the other team has to string it together a tremendous amount of hits to catch back up and actually get some free bases and some errors as well. So getting to the point of the game where they really have to shut this down, especially if Dylan Stevens is going to continue to throw. They're going to, that 4 is going to feel like insurmountable.
2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch Grounder to the third baseman. Dunbar's throw across the diamond to Smith to retire Boyles for out number 1, and that forced Hartman to stay put at second.
Nice job by Dunbar. Ball was hit pretty well, stayed down on the ground. He stayed down with it, checked the runner. Nice strong throw across, and Connor Smith, the freshman, received the ball and found the runner, come back across, and what didn't allow Hartman to advance up to third on that.
Now up to bat is Jason Myers for Musselman. A one-out runner on second. It's a 4-0 lead for the Applemen in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch called strike one.
Jason's a guy that, one of the guys in the lineup that will take a pitch or two, kind of feel the pitcher out. He could do some damage as well, as we know, as he can get hot and he can hit for power.
Myers calls a timeout. By the way, Steve Campbell trying to help us out as we're at hard chopper first to the shortstop, Gabe Schoen. His long throw not in time. He originally bobbled that one, so that puts runners on the corners now with one out. We were talking earlier about the doubles record for Musselman, and he texted me saying he thinks it's posted over the couch in the room behind us, so maybe in between innings we take a look.
Or take a nap.
I don't have the doubles record listed over here for a season, but we got some season records I can see from my seat.
Now up to bat is McClintock.
Sorry, Spencer.
McClintock hitting from the left side. It looks like, again, a big hole in the right side as is Patriots are in a double play. Kind of double play depth in the middle. And then you've got Connor Smith holding, so looking to certainly push the ball through the right side here. Could put a run, could give McClintock an easy RBI.
First pitch to McClintock, a ball, count 1-0. McCarthy sends the pitch, swing and a miss from McClintock, count now 1-1.
Took a nice hack at that one, but yeah, he's looking to pull something here, definitely. Trying to pull something, get the base runner in, and maybe lift the baseball with one out. But he was certainly looking to get that ball out in the right field with that swing. The approach here is to try to drive it through that hole there. It's left open by Smith holding the runner, and Dupree up the middle for the double play.
Another swing and a miss from McClintock for strike two as he was ahead of that curveball. Got runners on the corners, one out from Musselman in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead 4-0 over Washington. Myers on first takes his lead, see if maybe he goes to try to get Musselman out of the double play, but first a timeout called. Did you send him?
No. Myers doesn't have the foot speed that he needs here, but
this one, the fly ball getting down in the third base side into shallow left field. It is another single for Musselman, and that scores one. They now extend the lead in the bottom of the fourth to 5-0 over Washington, as that one just blooped and found open space.
Yeah, you asked me if he's going to run there. With the guys that they have, on deck, and the guys that can hit the baseball, Musselman's approach is to not give any outs. Even if probably might have given them a run, but they're gonna sort of play a little base to base, with some of their slower guys, and allow these guys to hit, and they're going to run the bases when you have the Lores and the Hartmans on when it dictates. So their approach changes depending on the personnel at times, and not necessarily always the situation, but with the personnel.
First pitch to Trevor Boers up the bat now for Musselman's high for a ball. Musselman with 9 base hits tonight.
They hit
5 runs.
Yeah, when they hit and when you get Dylan Stevens on the mound, they can really
see if this is 10. It's a shot into center field. Underneath it's Jackson Early makes the catch for out number 2. The runner stay put on first and second on the flyout. That brings up Dylan Stevens.
Typically, to go back to the first and third, you kind of run him on a 4-run lead and see if Washington's going to throw down, and then, give you the 5-run lead if you can attempt a double steal. And if that were to happen, they would have gotten, the ball down and possibly gotten 2 runs out of that. But, they just, like I said, depending on the personnel, who's on deck and things, and the guys that hit the baseball like they do, a lot of times, they'll kind of play it straight up and let the bats do the talking.
McCarthy's pitch to Stevens, high and outside for a ball. More to jump up to keep that one in front of him. McCarthy adjusts his hat on top of his head before stepping back on the rubber from behind the mound. Got runners on first and second in the bottom of the 4th for Musselman. Dylan Stevens up to bat. Pitch from McCarthy. Again misses high for ball 2. Stevens, his first time up, flew out to center. His last time up, grounded out into the 1-3 fielder's choice. Looking for an RBI to extend the 5-0 lead for Musselman. McCarthy looks at the runner at first, now the runner at second. 2-0 pitch. Half swing, it's a pop-up to shallow right field. Running forward, Zandy Clemmie makes the catch to retire the side, not before one more run was added for Musselman in the bottom of the 4th inning. They extend the lead to 5-0 over Washington. Led to the 5th inning now after this 60-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
To get the best opportunity to be seen and recruited, join the American Legion Post 14 Hornets baseball team. Managed by Trip Tobin, Post 14 will prepare you for the next level by playing the best possible schedule, along with an experienced coaching staff and alumni coming back to help guide you through the process.
Brings up Camion Gonzalez with runners on the corners. Runner from first going, and it's a fair ball down the third base line by Gonzalez. That's going to allow one to score.
The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier Legion baseball team in the area. Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
Back as we're now in the top of the 5th. Quick correction, that was Jamison Earl making the catch in the right field, not Andy Clem, as he came in last inning to end that bottom of the 4th for Washington as they trail Musselman 5-0. The 9-1-2 batters now due up for Washington.
Yeah, Washington, here's if they want to turn this lineup over and see Reed and Moore and those guys hit again, right now they need to start to get some runners on because they're 9 outs, and should Dylan be able to set them down, you don't have to face those guys one more time. So right now it's important for these guys to try to get on base anyway at all and get the bats in the hands of those 2 guys with base runners on, as the Musselman bottom did earlier when they did their damage.
First pitch to Jackson Earl from Dylan Stevens, called strike 1 to start off the top of the 5th. Stevens, a solid night so far, only giving up 3 hits as this one fouled off by Earl. Off his foot it goes to the left side. Count now 0-2. He struck out 4 so far as Stevens.
That says a lot for Washington's lineup because he's a strikeout pitcher. He can he can get into double digits on teams, and for Washington, with this many youngsters in the lineup, these young guys and these freshman guys, to be able to get the bat on the ball and at least get it in play against, Stevens says a lot about this lineup.
The 0-2 pitch from Stevens. It's a grounder sent by Earl to the shortstop. Hartman is throw to first. Myers extends, makes the catch just in time for out number 1.
Nice play by Baden. He showed
not easy at all.
Showed that cannon there as he come running in, and then kind of whipped it from the sidearm and threw it right a strike across there. A lot of times as you're coming through, that momentum carries you, and most of the time we see those guys make that play, but they don't make the throw.
Any sort of hitch or there would have made it too late.
He cut it loose.
Dupree up to bat now. For the third time today, he's 0 for 2. Let's the first pitch go by for a strike from Stevens.
Hartman's certainly not your prototypical shortstop. He uses a lot of footwork and has this real smooth kind of technique that you would see out of some of those guys. But he gets it done.
Just want a grounder to the second baseman. Throw to first for out number 2. That was Mowerly making the play for Musselman.
Musselman making the plays, the routine plays that they need to make, and they keep these guys off the bases because, again, if you're going to face Cam Moore or Colin Reed, you want to face them with 2 outs and nobody on where they can't, do a lot of damage with a 5-run lead.
Breaking ball from Stevens. Catches the outside part of the zone to Moore for strike 1.
The rubber match for these two, got Moore who's 1 for 2, and somebody's going to win the battle here.
This pitch stays outside as he tried to go with that same slider. Count now 1-1. A 1-1 pitch from Stevens to Moore. Fly ball to left center field. Lohr backs up, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down goes the Washington Patriots here in the top of the 5th. The score remains Musselman 5, Washington nothing. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th after this 60-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Half of the 5th inning due up for Musselman, the 8-9-1 batters. As they lead Washington 5-0. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. Alongside me is Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. Cameraman is Spencer Dupuis. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. It's not Luke Combs. For those that might be under the belief it is, I've heard Spencer sing a few times. It's not Luke Combs.
But you know who the season all-time leader for RBIs in a season is for Musselman and Applemen? Brandon Combs. No relation to our cameraman or Luke Combs, I assume.
No, he didn't. Aiden Seitz up the bat now.
Seitz with the base hit earlier. Again, he had that ground ball at RBI, so having a productive night.
First pitch, low for a ball.
Another one of those guys that wears that big shiny white helmet.
McCarthy sends the 1-0 pitch to Seitz. Fastball, again low for ball 2. Got McCarthy pitching, Moore still behind home plate. Smith at first, Dupree at second. Showing it short, Dunbar at third, Gill in left, and the 2 Orals in center and right. This pitch at the knees first, strike the count now 2-1 to Seitz.
Musselman still doesn't have anybody up in the bullpen, so for the moment they're good to go with Dylan Stevens here.
2-1 pitch, low for ball 3 to Seitz.
You have to think that if Dylan goes a distance here, that maybe then Musselman's game 1 starter is going to be, Hartman or Myers possibly for the section.
A 3-1 pitch. Misses for ball 4 as Aiden Seitz will lead things off with a walk.
And again, there we are with the, Musselman able to get the bottom one with the top of that lineup. Sitting on deck. Moberly here in the 9 hole. With the top coming up with Lohr and Hartman and the gang behind him.
Pitch misses inside for a ball to Moberly. Got a runner on first, nobody out. McCarthy sets. 1-0 pitch is a fastball. And again, low for ball 2 as he's so far this inning really struggling to find that strike zone.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to put these couple guys on and be able to get out of it. I don't see how man on first and second, nobody out with those two guys coming up. If McCarthy gets out of that, I'm not sure anybody gets out of that.
Now 3-0 as this one outside, and looks like we have somebody warming up for Washington over in that bullpen. Can't tell who it is right now, but it's a 3-0 count.
We're now in the 5th inning, 5-0. You load up these bases, you got really a winning run on the on-deck surface.
It's a 4-pitch walk, back-to-back walks now issued by Josh McCarthy. Puts runners on first and second with nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th.
20. Oh, Bradley Smedick. Is that who it is? Brad Smedick warming up? Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it's Smedick. So Cam Moore's will go out there and give Smedick time to get loose as he's starting to get loose a little quicker now. And, a little pat on the back to McCarthy saying, as they're looking down to that bullpen, because it looks like McCarthy is not looking forward to throwing to Lohr here as he's kind of lost his confidence a little bit.
Runners on first and second, nobody out. It's a 5-0 lead for Musselman, over Washington. McCarthy will check both runners. Pitch to Lohr. Called strike 1. Lohr 1 for 3 today. Flew out to the shortstop, singled and had that 2 RBI single in the second, and flew out to center his last time up. Tripp giving him the signals.
Now, if you watch Lohr at the plate, his way of just kind of waiting the pitcher out is just kind of tapping that helmet, putting it back on, and you'll see him. It's just his mechanism. There he goes to the top of the helmet. He'll go to the leg, now he'll go to the top, and he'll go to the leg, to the top, and back to the top. He's got a lot of...
Had to switch hands for that one, too.
He's got a lot of movement going on, but it's just his way of just kind of settling in the box and staying focused.
0-2 pitch. It's a grounder in the gap between shortstop and third, and that'll load the bases with nobody out for Musselman in the bottom half of the 5th.
Not a good turn there by Seitz. You can see Coach Hartman kind of wanted to send him, but he didn't. He was kind of up. Wasn't back at all in any type of 2-out lead, which is what you need to do. But once he's seen that ball go through the hole, he needs to kind of round that off. He kind of ran straight to the bases, tried to make a 90 to third, and just couldn't make that turn well. And Coach Hartman, nobody out, didn't want to make that out. The plate held him up because he just didn't get a good turn there on third.
Musselman threatening now as the infield for Washington in on the grass, and senior Baden Hartman up to the plate. He has 2 doubles so far today.
Yeah, he hits it a ton.
And he sends this one into the night sky in left center field. Looks like it is playable, though. Cam Gill makes the catch. It's a sac fly to make it 6-0 Musselman.
Well, left the bat, looked like he had a little, exit velo, but it kind of got up in that night sky up there, and ball doesn't carry real well here at Musselman. We all know that. To get it out of this park, you have to keep it down on a low liner and get it all. It doesn't really have what they call the jet stream up there. It's weird because here you'll see the wind kind of blow against the net at first base, but you'll see it come back out there. You'll see the leaves out there coming back, so it's kind of a little bit of a weird wind pattern they have here.
Taryn Boyle's now up to bat with 1 out, runner on first and second. I'll let the first pitch go from McCarthy for strike one.
Game is going to get out of hand if Musselman gets another base hit or two, and it's just going to be hard for Washington to come back with Musselman's ace on the mound.
4 runs away from the mercy rule too, so we're in the 5th. Swing and a miss for strike two. Runners on first and second are Lohr and Moberly.
And it looks like in the bullpen, seeing a lot of turning around looking at the game from our pitcher out there, that he might be just about ready for the call at any second. Could be his last batter for McCarthy.
Pitch from McCarthy, fouled off by Boyles to keep the count at 0-2.
Yeah, he's not going to have any problem giving away to Smetic, I don't think. I don't think he's feeling it there tonight. And Smedic's a guy who's not going to walk a lot of guys. He's going to throw the ball across the plate, force you to hit yourself on, and he's going to mix it up. When he does get in there, once he gets loose.
Boyles 0 for 3 today, trying to help out his team. Pops this one up to the right side in foul territory. Connor Smith, the first baseman, backs up, makes the catch for out number 2. Boyles now 0 for 4.
I was a little frustrated with himself here tonight, missing a few pitches. He's generally, one of those guys that gets on the hit parade with Musselman, and he wants to contribute. He's passionate, and, as all these young guys are, they just want to hit, and they want to run, they want to contribute, and he's just a little upset with himself here tonight. He's missed a few pitches, but he's one of those guys that's hitting in that 350 mark for Musselman, and he's going to carry him along. He's going to be trouble in the sectionals and help him as they move forward.
Smetic has returned from the bullpen, but McCarthy stays put on the mound. First pitch to Myers is fouled off over the press box and out of play for strike one.
He's getting some outs now, so no sense in stopping it at the moment. He's got a couple outs here in the heart of Musselman's lineup, so see what he can do here.
And see if he can get himself out of the jam.
The Jambo Jam.
That's right.
2 outs, 0-1 count to Jason Myers. Fastball at the knees for strike 2 to Myers. Got runners on first and second for Musselman. So they lead 6-0. Josh McCarthy on the mound. Taking his time, looking at the runner behind him now before his stretch in the pitch. Here comes the stretch in the pitch, and Myers sends a fly ball to center field. Jackson Earl should make the catch, and he does so to end the 5th inning. One more run was able to cross the plate for Musselman. They now extend the lead to 6-0 over Washington. We'll head to the 6th after this 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Back as we head to the 6th inning now. The 3-4-5 batters will be due up for Washington as they trail Musselman 6-0 here on Thursday, May 4th. As May the 4th be with those who celebrate Star Wars Day. And looks like Spencer kind of is, as he's attempting to have a lightsaber, but I don't think he's a Jedi, no. Luke Skywalker.
I don't know if people,
maybe Luke Combs at best. not Luke Skywalker.
I don't know if this was popular or not, but I've never watched a Star Wars movie.
Well, I apologize to those that are offended by Tripp now.
There's more people like that than I would have thought, you know? But
first pitch fouled off by Colin Reed out of play for a strike.
I don't know what it is. I don't watch really a lot of science fiction, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I just
never were into it.
I read a lot. I'm a philosopher kind of guy.
Reed, line drive, base hit in between shortstop and third in the left field. It's a leadoff single for Reed to kick off the 6th for the Patriots.
One of the toughest outs in the EPAC. There's a lot of really tough outs on this field tonight on these two rosters. It's just fun to watch these guys. It's fun to watch Dillon pitch and Hartman and Lohr and Myers and those guys hit the baseball, and even McClintock and Boyles now, and then these other guys doing their job, and then on the other side seeing Cam Moore and Reed and that lineup over there swinging the bat as best they can against one of the best pitchers out there that we see all year.
Gill will foul off the first pitch. It goes out of play on the right-hand side for strike one.
It's been tough for much of anyone to get hits on Stevens tonight, but Colin Reed's been one of them that's been able to do it multiple times.
This one inside almost hits Gill, had to step back, count 1-1.
Dillon knows. I mean, the whole state knows that Colin can put the bat on the ball if you throw it over the plate, and if you make mistakes, he can really make it hurt.
Gill sends a ground ball that takes a weird hop, but still recovering Hartman. His throw to second will put Reed out on the fielder's choice as Gill heads to first.
Hartman's just flashing the glove here tonight. I mean, you got to give him credit. Gets to those balls and makes those plays. But the hardest part about those plays are making those throws on the run. And he's throwing strikes. He's still in that perfect game mode. Jamison Earl now?
Believe so, yes. Jamison Earl up to the plate now in the spot of Andy Clem.
There just haven't been the flashiest plays in the world from Hartman out at short, but it's more so he's making the hard plays look a little easy.
Yeah, he's getting it done tonight. Give him credit. He's he really has that arm to recover from those balls in the gap there, and those swinging bunts and those do or die plays. He's able to make them, and a lot of other guys just throw the ball away.
Second pitch to Earl is a strike, so the count now 0-2. Pitch from Stevens, fouled off by Jamison Earl, goes out of play for the first base dugout. The count remains 0-2. Got one out, runner on first for Washington in the top of the 6th as they trail Musselman 6-0. Earl will call a timeout and step out of the box. Stevens still waiting on the mound, ready to go. Looks at the runner at first. The 0-2 pitch. Down the first base line and just foul. A few feet away from being a pretty solid base hit.
Looked like he wasn't too far away from getting that ball down in the corner. Certainly a double, possibly more. Could have put Washington on the board there with that one, as it went where nobody plays. Curved ball that he kind of stayed with and took it the other way and got the barrel on it. It just tailed away down into that Washington, visitors' bullpen area.
Still no balls and 2 strikes to Jamison Earl against Dylan Stevens on senior night for Musselman. Pitch from Stevens. Fastball just outside the count, now 1-2. Gill on first for Washington will take his lead. Stevens is thrown over earlier. Let's see if he does so. He decides not to. The 1-2 pitch outside off the chest of Boyles to the right side, and that'll allow Gill to take second.
Yeah, one of the first times tonight we've seen a dirt ball to get away from one of these catchers, and what a whole lot Taryn can do. I think that talks about the control of the pitchers, and then also the ability of the catchers here tonight to shut that that running game down on those dirt balls.
Count now 2-2. It's the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Pitch from Stevens. Fouled off again by Earl. Stevens, that was his 85th pitch now.
Earl certainly not with one of the what you would call the prettiest swings up there, but it's very defensive with 2 strikes, and he's doing his job here, and forcing Stevens to throw a lot of pitches and getting himself a QAB just through the pitch count.
Pitch missing outside as he's worked his way back. He was behind 0-2. Now it's a full count at 3-2.
His dad's down there on third base. He coaches third base, Coach Earl, and then you had head coach JT DeSarno over at first.
Stevens shakes off the first pitch slightly. A timeout will be called by Jamison Earl.
Assistant coach in the dugout there. You've got a couple of former players, and then you have Colin Reed. He's the player coach.
Payoff pitch inside, ball 4. Walk, Jamison Earl.
That was a great at bat by Earl. I mean, he just fought and fought and fought until Stevens just finally threw 4 balls, and it's a great job there by Earl, who looked like he was outmanned early in that at bat to fight back and to be able to get himself on base there and give his team a chance to cut into this lead here with a base hit or so.
Brings up Brandon Dunbar with runners on first and second and 1 out for Washington.
Luke's learning how to use the button there that will focus in on the fielders.
Dunbar adjusts his helmet. Stevens looks at the runner behind him. First pitch to Dunbar, fouled off by Dunbar for strike 1. That one went to the left side, and Connor Smith had to go from the first base dugout on deck circle over there to retrieve it. 1 pitch, squaring the bunt. It goes down the first baseline and foul.
Good try there by Dunbar. Is kind of caught Musselman there on their heels. Is Myers was kind of playing behind the runner there with Jameson Earl with Cam Gill out front. He really wasn't holding there, and Dunbar seen an opportunity to get an easy base hit out of that because he pushed it down that line and just went foul on him. So a good play there, smart play by Dunbar.
Count now 0-2. Stevens sets the pitch. Popped up to the first base side. It goes. That one out of play. The count remains 0-2.
These guys are battling, Stevens here, and it's causing that pitch count to get up. And that's what they want to do. They want to try to see the bullpen, if at all possible, and at the same time cut into this lead and force Dillon to possibly make a mistake, and then these guys to get that 0 off the board.
0-2 pitch, chopped foul.
Right, you fight off some pitches and get some guys on base. You might at least be able to see 1 inning of a different pitcher in the top of the 7th.
Stevens up over 90 pitches now. 0-2 pitch to Dunbar. Eye for a ball. Dunbar 0 for 2 today. Grounded down to the pitchers last time up. First time up, he flew out to center field. A 1-2 pitch. This one a one-hopper to the pitcher, Stevens. He'll throw to third base. The throw across the diamond to first, not in time for the double play. So the fielder's choice is 2 outs now. The runner still on first and second for Washington.
Nice play there by Stevens. Have the wherewithal to get the ball to third, and then McClintock not even a hiccup in his throw. He just cut it loose back across the diamond, and Dunbar is fast. So for them to make a play out of that, that was a good turn there from the pitcher to the third baseman over to first to almost complete double play there.
2 out, runners on first and second. We're in the top of the 6th. First pitch to Connor Smith misses outside from Dylan Stevens for ball 1. Your score is 6-0. Musselman leads Washington.
One of the downfalls at Musselman at times has been that, a few errors here and there.
Oh. This one, a base hit right back up the middle off the pitcher's mound into center field. Loris' throw will be cut off, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Connor Smith there, the freshman coming through. line drive right back at the feet of Dylan Stevens. Not much he could do about it, but what I was going to say is, there's times when Musselman's defense does, have an error or two or a couple of walks here and there. But tonight, should they keep, should they win this game, go on to win this game and certainly go on and get a shutout, you can put a lot of that credit to the fact that defense has played extremely well, with Hartman making some plays and Stevens himself, on some plays, and of course Laura in the outfield, and a nice play by Moberly out here. So defense is getting it done today.
Showing up to the plate now for Washington. He swings through the first pitch for strike one.
Kind of hit that one too hard up the line in the center for the runner to come out, score from second.
One pitch, breaking ball outside. The count now even at 1-1.
The second time I think Jameson Earl had the same issue that Seitz had. He came into the base, not rounding it, and kind of had to do the touch the bag and then kind of stop and then get going again to home, and he just got held up.
This one goes outside again. The count now 2-1. Runners on first and second will take their leads. 2-1 pitch from Stevens. Fastball catching the strike zone. The count now even to Schoen at 2-2.
Another young fella here on this, get freshman, in this lineup with Schoen and French on first, a freshman. Sven Dupree, I believe on deck, freshman. So, just a lot of young guys that are making varsity, getting varsity experience here for Washington. It's going to pay off big in the years to come, and even this year so far they've been working.
2-2 pitch is a little deep fly ball to left center field, but Kyle Lohr is able to track it down, make the catch to retire the side. So two are left, stranded again for Washington tonight. We'll head to the bottom half of the sixth. The score remains Musselman 6, Washington nothing. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on the bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome back here to Applemen Park as we are in the bottom half of the sixth inning between Musselman and Washington. The score is 6-0. The Applemen lead the Patriots here in EPAC play. Flip over the scorecard. Due up for Musselman is the 5, 6, 7 batters, McClintock, Bohr, and Stevens. Like we still have, we've a new pitcher actually out there now for Washington.
Medic.
Yep. A new pitcher brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. Now pitching for the Washington Patriots is Smedic.
We saw him warming up in the last inning, but McCarthy was able to get himself out of trouble, so he got himself one more inning of work before he called it a night on the mound.
Just trying to double check, make sure that there's no other changes. It looks like it's just Brad Smedic in. No defensive changes for Washington this time around.
Now it looks the same. You got Gill on the left, Jackson Earl in center, Jameson Earl on the left, Connor Smith at first, Sven Dupree at second, Gabe Schoen at short, Brandon Dunbar's at third, the new pitcher Smedic on the mound, and your catcher tonight, Cam Moore.
So Smedic is ready here against McClintock. Smetic sets. First pitch. Called strike one. No balls, one strike.
Like Washington, I believe that this is their last game, right? Probably a little different approach than Musselman. They got a game tomorrow to get some more warm-up in, but, you know, these guys are just kind of tuning up. You know, they are at a 5-run deficit. I'm not saying they didn't come out here to win the game, and they're not trying to win the game by any means, but I think that they're getting a few other guys in once they got behind a little bit and giving some guys a chance and some more live at-bats here before the sectional, so kind of the approach there.
Pitch high, count now 2-1.
Certainly the expectation is regardless of who we put in, we expect you to compete and, get out there and get after it. But certainly more of the bench has been used on the Washington side as opposed to the Musselman side here tonight so far. We see, I believe, is that Boer out and warming up? The lefty. I think it's Boer.
Can't see down that side, but the count now 2-2 after McClintock fouls off that pitch to the third base dugout.
May see Boer come in and close this thing out. Be quality guy that they have down there that can get it done in the late innings, especially with a 6-0 lead. I mean, he's come in, closed out some games, over the last 2 years that were really tight. So
it's one a grounder to the third base side. Dunbar's throw across the diamond takes out McClintock for out number one.
McClintock clean over there at third base tonight. We've seen some really good defense out of him. We talk about Musselman's defense, but Brandon Dunbar's done some really nice jobs with with the balls hit at him here tonight and the ability for him to, that's come from a left-handed batter, a little different spin, a little tougher, gets on you a little quicker, believe it or not, at times because the way it cuts out of there, but he made a nice play with it.
Up to bat is Boer for the Applemen with one out, nobody on.
That's like Sights. Or no, is there a pinch hitter? Number 6, he got a pinch hitter while he's warming up.
This one fouled off.
Who's number 6? That's who's hitting. Someone's pinch hitting because Boer's down there
Yep,
losing him
you're
up.
correct. Pinch hitting, it looks like, is Cohen Rutherford.
Yeah, Rutherford.
Count 0-1 to Rutherford. He fouls off this one. Count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Smetic sets the 0-2 pitch. Misses for a ball.
You are still in a spot where your hitters could close out this game for you if things get too bad on the mound here for Smetic. Get Stevens that complete game if he's not going to come out for the 7th.
1-2 pitch, high for a ball. The count now even at 2-2.
Yeah, Smetic, they're going to have to hit themselves on because Smetic doesn't give up a lot of free bases. He pounds his zone, forces the guys to hit the baseball, and he pitches to contact.
2-2 pitch, popped up to the right side, running over is Earl. In foul territory, it lands before he was able to get there. The count remains at 2-2.
He made a play for it. I thought at one point in time he had a shot at it, but just kept tailing away, and he kept tracking it, but didn't quite get there. And if he had my speed, maybe.
Sounds like a challenge to a race, maybe late.
Well, he's got cleats on, so, and I'm in jeans.
I think he'd still win. No?
I'm a little disadvantaged.
2-2 pitch, again fouled off by Rutherford.
Takes me a little longer to get loosened up than him. It'd take me a good half. We'd be off the air by the time you ran it.
We'd stay on just for you.
Well, we got to get out of here.
2-2 pitch, misses outside for ball 3. Count now 3-2 with 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 6th. It's Musselman 6, Washington nothing.
He's making Smetic work.
But I'll race Colin.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spencer can be put in there.
I ain't racing him.
Don't want to make him feel bad as this one goes foul.
No. Well, I don't want to hurt him for his next concert. We don't want him to have to. His ticket holders cash it in because he pulls a hammy or something.
You're saying Spencer wouldn't be like Dave Grohl or a Zach De La Rocha, come up there and do a show in a cast?
No, he ain't got that kind of heart.
Smetic sets. Payoff pitch to Rutherford. Swing and a miss for out number 2.
Rutherford made him work, but, Smetic had him there in swing mode. And then, when you get these guys swinging 2 strikes, sometimes it's hard for them to hold up on those pitches. He's a great job getting him in swing mode and then dunking one. So, he was offering for pretty much, whatever was up there trying to protect the plate. And then Smetic just threw one far enough in the dirt there that he couldn't get to it.
Brings up Dylan Stevens. Stevens, grounder to the third base side off the leg of Dunbar after an awkward hop.
I think it hit
That'll
the bag.
allow Stevens to reach first.
I think it hit the third base bag, didn't it? That what brought it up and caused Dunbar not to be able to handle it because he had a beat on it, but then it, like you said, took an awkward hop either off the corner of that bag.
I couldn't tell because I was still trying to lean over to see down that third base side as my view kind of obstructed by a wall.
Yeah, I don't think, it's hard to give Dunbar an error on that because of the way they come up off of there. So
I rolled it a single.
Something misdirected it back at him.
This time Dunbar is able to make a play and throw over to first for the out. We'll head to the 7th. It remains Musselman 6, Washington nothing as the Patriots are down to their final 3 outs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR, TV 10.
Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go with the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rox, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
We welcome you back as we head to the top of the 7th inning. We have another pitching change, this time for Musselman. Your pitching changes are brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. Now pitching for the Musselman Applemen is Trevor Bohr. Bohr will be coming out from right field to the pitcher's mound to end Dylan Stevens' day on the mound after a fantastic start for Dylan Stevens. He goes 6 innings, giving up 5 runs, a scoreless baseball, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And I know off the air you were kind of talking about who would we give player of the game to right now. I think it has to be him, right?
I mean, at the moment, you got a couple hits out of Lore and some defensive plays. You got a couple of hits out of, Moberly and some great defensive plays. A couple hits out of Hartman and some great defensive plays. So those guys have been really good at, getting behind their pitcher there, giving him some run support and some defensive support. So, if he is player of the game, hopefully he can, I bet he'll be attributing some of his success to that defense and those guys there. But, yeah, at the moment, he's kind of the standout guy, but it's been really a kind of a team effort with those guys.
Top of the 7th inning we head now. Looks like we got pinch hitter up as Ethan Kearns is up for the top of the 7th to lead things off for the Patriots. So Kearns will face off against Bohr. The first pitch up and in for ball 1.
Pinch hitter brought to you by the Luke Combs Tour. It'll be in
He's getting a lot of free
He'll be
advertising
in Soldier
right now.
Field here this week.
Next pitch, called a strike. The count now 1-1 to Kearns.
Hope he has my post 14 sweatshirt on when he takes the stage. Probably warmer there.
I see Tyson Bajan at Soldier Field too this year.
You might.
We'll see. Hope so. 1-1 pitch. A line drive right back up the middle by Ethan Kearns. It's a leadoff single. Start off the 7th for Washington.
Nice job there by the young man coming in, taking an opportunity, taking a swing as number 6 comes to the plate here.
That is Brady Magaha.
Magaki, huh? Is that what it is? Brady Magaha.
Magaha.
Or Magaki.
Swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
These guys can get on. I mean, if they can figure a way to get on, Trevor Boer's going to have his hands full, like we talked about with those, 3, 4, 5 guys.
Pitch from Boer to Brady Magaha. Called strike 2. That one catches the top of the strike zone.
Musselman's got Hartman at 3 hits. RBI, 2 hits for Lohr. And a couple of hits for Mobley, as we were talking about those guys being flashing leather and the bats.
This one a grounder right back up the middle. It's a slow one. The shortstop, Hartman.
Wow.
The best play of the day from him. He scoops it up, stumbles, catches himself, steps on second, throws off the hop the first in time for the double play.
Those plays are easy when they go on the left side of the pitcher's mound on his side, but he had to go on the second base side, grab it, stop, gather his feet, touch the bag, and then once again throw kind of sidearm across to get that. So that was
he's making sure we make sure to mention him potentially for this player of the game with the plays he's made today.
He has really put in some work there, at shortstop, and kept Washington from being able to get anything going.
Okay, Moore up to the plate now with 1 out to go for Washington. Nobody on after the double play. They trail 6-0 here in the top of the 7th.
Some great plays today. I mean, think about the ground ball that got over to Myers when the pitcher was covering, and just a lot of really good plays tonight from Musselman.
A 1 pitch misses low and away. The count now 1-1 to Moore.
The guy that doesn't get no credit is always the guy behind the plate. Nothing's gotten to the backstop here tonight. Nobody's moved up as Taryn Boyles has shut down that running game and not allowed any free bases with that, and those dirt balls.
1-1 pitch on the outside corner. Called a ball. The count now 2-1.
Player of the game might be Josh Hartman and his Andrew Stevens and Mackey and Stanley and all those, Coach Mackey, Coach Stanley, all those guys that got the field ready. They might be the player of the game.
2-1 pitch fouled to the third base side. Is more frustrated with that one. Count now 2-2 as Washington down to its final strike with Reed on deck. Moore steps back into the left-handed box against Trevor Boer. Boer sets on the rubber. Deuces wild. Wind up and the delivery to Moore. Fly ball into left field. Should be playable by Seitz. He makes the catch, and the Musselman Applemen get the win on senior night by a final score of 6-0 over the Washington Patriots as the green and red fireworks go off. The Applemen improve to 21-9 on the season. Washington falls to 11-17. While both teams shake hands and step aside, take a 2-minute break, and then be back for our post-game show. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti. when you need justice.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Spring has sprung. Time to head to Orr's Farm Market to find your flowers, veggie plants, bagged mulches, and potting soil. Visit our bakery counter to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't forget our pie flavor of the month, Boston cream pie. We have West Virginia food products, local coffee, honey, maple syrup, dairy, and meat. We have 25 new Orr's jam and salsa flavors for you to try. Check us out at orrsfarmmarket.com. And remember, Orr's Farm Market, happiness grows here.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
We welcome you back to Musselman High School as the Applemen pick up the 6-0 win over the Washington Patriots tonight. We welcome you into the post-game show now on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's is fast, fresh, and friendly. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Trip Tobin, our cameraman, Spencer Dupuis, and we'll hear from Dylan Bishop shortly with our players of the game, as we're going to give it to Baden Hartman as well as Dylan Stevens, the two seniors on senior night, having great performances for Musselman on multiple aspects of the game tonight, pitching, offense, and defense, as we wait for Musselman to wrap up their huddle and wait for Dylan. Trip, just give me your thoughts on the game.
I just thought it was a very well-rounded game, by Musselman. They hit the ball well. I think they had 10, 11 hits here, and multiple hits from the guys that we know can hit the ball, and a couple of guys that hit the baseball at the bottom. Moberly doing a great job there at the bottom, and then the defense was just outstanding. And I know there was at times that Musselman has had some multiple error games, got themselves in trouble. That way, and when you make errors, you put base runners on. That just forces your pitcher to throw more pitches. But tonight, Dylan Stevens does what he does. He goes out there, throws shutout baseball, and you got some great defense behind him. And and these guys hit the baseball when they had base runners on after leaving a couple on early. They just got after it after that. And I just think if you look at the three aspects of the game, Musselman was able to play really good baseball tonight and excel in all three of those areas.
And our players of the game, again, Dylan Stevens and Baden Hartman, your players of the game, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. While Dylan Bishop makes his way down with our players of the game, we'll wait for him to get a little bit closer so that we're able to pick up the signal from our wireless mic, and looks back for, I believe, Coach Hartman as well. So once they're ready to go, we'll send it down to him as he's making sure that everybody's set. Looks like Dylan maybe wants to see if Coach Hartman wants to join them to do it all at the same time, get some thoughts on the seniors, or if he just wants the two seniors to go first, and it looks like that's what we're going to do. So once Dylan gets behind home plate here with Baden to his left, Dylan to his right, we'll send it down to him.
All right, down here with Dylan Stevens, Baden Hartman. Guys, senior night for you guys. You both had great performances. Dylan, I'll start with you on the mound. You were able to go 6 scoreless innings. How are you feeling out there on the mound tonight? Your stuff, you were able to keep watching off the board.
I felt great tonight. Recently, my arm's been a little bit tired, and I started doing strengthening with my therapist over at Ranking, and ever since then, I started feeling a lot better on the mound.
And Baden, you're coming off your perfect game earlier this week. You were able to get 3 hits tonight, made some good stuff out on the defensive side of things, too. How are you feeling tonight? You had it on both sides of the field.
It felt good to come out for senior night, have a good game, and play good on both sides of the ball. It was good.
All right, you guys have the sectional playoffs coming up next week. How do you feel tonight? How'd you guys prepared going into that? How you guys are feeling going into those playoffs?
I think our main thing to winning games is just having fun. Whenever this team has fun, we seem to pick it up a lot more.
What you been?
Our defense has been playing good recently, and hopefully our bats will stay hot in sectionals and we can keep it up.
And I'll start with you for this one, Baden. It's your senior night for both of you guys. What does it mean to you just be out here one more time for the regular season in front of a home crowd, put up a good night at the plate on defense, and have a good win for your team?
It was great just coming out here, doing our thing, and getting a win and playing good. Hopefully we can keep it going in sectionals.
Again, senior night, what's it mean to you?
It was a great accomplishment to be here in our senior night. Great crowd, great friends everywhere. It's fun. Yep.
All right, thank you guys. Great game tonight. Good luck next week. And that will bring on Coach Hartman. Guys were able to do really well on both sides of the field tonight. Great pitching performance from Dylan Stevens. Some flashy plays from Baden out on defense. And you guys drove in 6 runs. How'd you feel about your team's performance tonight?
I mean, I thought a quality start. Made it through 7 innings, made the plays in the field. Anytime we get that, if we can make plays in the field and our starters go long distance like that, I have complete confidence every game that we play.
And the 2 big things from tonight, just talked to Dylan and Baden, both seniors on senior night. What it mean for you guys to be able to get this game out here in the first place? I know you guys put a lot of work into the field and pregame to be able to make sure that this game got played, and you have the senior night for your seniors.
Yeah, I remember one year we had it. It rained us out the night we had to have senior night back there on the backstop. So I was really glad to get those guys on the field tonight and get that in. You put in the work for these kids. I would do anything for these guys. You're coming out and you bust your butt to help them. And anytime you get an opportunity to play, like I said, pre-game, I just wanted to play tonight. So if we got the game in, we got those for those seniors. I'm very happy we did that.
You got in this conference game ahead of the sectional playoffs coming up next week. How do you feel like tonight prepared your team for that coming up next week, and how the team's looking for next week?
Well, anytime you can come out and get a win, it gives you confidence going forward. Tomorrow, another game on the road. Road trips are fun. The kids love that stuff. So hopefully get one there tomorrow and go into sectionals playing well and the confidence they need, and knowing that anybody can come out of that section. It's going to be a tough section, and we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to play Martinsburg and whoever we have after that. It'll be a fun ride.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Congrats on the win. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan, as well as Coach Hartman, Dylan Stevens, and Baden Hartman. Let's continue our post-game show now and get into the game summary brought to you by Farmer & Mechanic Insurance Companies. When it comes to your home, auto, farm, or business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to fmiwv.com. It was the Applemen striking first, striking fast, and the only ones going up on the board in this 6-0 win. They started it in that bottom of the second inning with 2 runs. They tacked on 2 more in the bottom of the third, and then 1 each in the bottom of the 4th and 5th to get the 6 runs on 10 hits with 1 error. Washington, no runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors today. Let's get into the game stats now, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 south of Enwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. And we'll start off with the offense for Washington. Sven Dupree with an 0 for 3 day. Magaha with an 0 for 1 day. Cam Moore had a base hit in his 4 at-bats. Reed with a 2 for 3 day and striking out once. Gill with a 1 for 3 day. Clem with an 0 for 2 day, striking out. Earl with a walk in his at-bat. Dunbar with an 0 for 3 day. Smith with a 1 for 1 day and 2 walks. Poltar going 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Schoen going 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Earl 0 for 2 to get those no runs with the 6 hits and the errors. For pitching for the Patriots, it was Connor Smith going 2 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts. Josh McCarthy, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs given up, both earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And Brad Smedick, 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout, in scoreless baseball. Offensively for Musselman tonight, it was Lohr with a 2-for-4 day and 2 RBIs. Hartman with a 2-for-3 day, an RBI and a run. Boyles went 0-for-4. Myers had a 1-for-3 day with a walk. McClintock with a 1-for-2 day, 2 walks, an RBI and a run. Bohr with a 1-for-3 day with a run. Rutherford struck out in his at-bat. Stevens went 0-for-4. Seitz went 1-for-3 with an RBI, a walk, and a run. 2 runs, and Moberly a 2-for-2 day with an RBI and a walk and a run for those 6 runs on 10 hits. Stevens, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Bohr with the 1 inning pitched, only giving up 1 hit in that one. Trip, before we wrap things up, I'll let you give your final thoughts.
I just think, Musselman played a complete game tonight. If they come out and do that in the section, they're going to win more games before they lose 2 games. So, they had a complete win tonight, something you don't always see in high school baseball, where you pitch well, hit well, and catch the baseball well. Usually you can accomplish 2 or 3 of those things and get a win. But tonight they had a complete win. As far as Washington goes, they got a lot of guys in. Once they got down, I think they took a little different approach, to it. That that's fine. It's probably their final game. So, Musselman has a game tomorrow against Preston. A school that they should probably beat. Maybe they can get some guys in, as Washington did tonight. But Washington still has to. They're young. And they still got they got a mountain to climb there with Jefferson. But spoke with Colin Reed before the game. I think he's going to get out there and get after it, on the mound and try to give his team a chance to get a sectional win there. And we've seen that this team can battle at the plate. That first 9 they put in there, and the guys that they inserted all battled, and they didn't just battle against just anybody. They battled against one of the better pitchers in the area. So we know what they can do. We know Jefferson brings some pitchers to the mound that can get out, so they're going to be fun to watch as well. And you can't count either one of those teams out, or can't count Washington out. Hampshire down a little bit, but see if Washington get down there and take care of business, and then get after Jefferson. But the Martinsburg-Musselman game is going to be sort of a marquee game next Tuesday night for sure.
All right, that'll wrap things up here from Musselman High School. For Nick Verzolini, who you'll hear from shortly, as well as Spencer Dupuis. I keep messing that up today for some reason because of Sven Dupree, but Dylan Bishop as well, and Trip Tobin too. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off here. Your final score: Musselman 6, Washington 0. This has been West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a good night, everyone.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We're going to the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rocks, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
We welcome you into the Cody's Auto Body Scoreboard Show, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Cody's, where you get the work done right the first time. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Take a look at some scores here tonight in high school baseball. Musselman picks up win number 21 in the game you just tuned into to improve their record to 21-9. Washington falling here tonight, 6-0. They are now 11-17 on the year. We had some EPAC softball sectionals going on tonight between. Those are going to be played tomorrow. Spring Mills will take on Musselman tomorrow. I believe all the games are tomorrow, so no games going on tonight. I'm sorry. There we go. Washington takes on Hampshire tonight. They get an 8-1 win in softball. But Spring Mills will play Musselman tomorrow. So some good games still going on in the sectionals. You'll have Jefferson, Washington tomorrow in softball. In terms of other baseball games going on tonight, Hedgesville was taking on Frankfurt, but that got rained out. So I don't believe we had anything else unless I'm missing something here. Jefferson got a win, I believe, today as well. The Cougars beat... I'm sorry, they don't play until... Or, yeah, they did get a win. Smithsburg, they win 5-3. So those were all the high school games going on tonight in the area. We'll quickly get you some professional scores and then wrap this thing up here on the Scoreboard Show. Tonight in the NBA playoffs currently going on, the Golden State Warriors lead the Los Angeles Lakers 54-50 in the second quarter. You can tune into that game on ESPN. In Major League Baseball, Nats get a win over the Chicago Cubs to win that series. They win the game 4-3. Tigers lead the Mets 2-0. Rays beat the Pirates 3-2. Angels beat the Cardinals 11-7. Orioles beat the Royals 13-10. Twins beat the White Sox 7-3. Rockies over the Brewers 9-6. Mariners over the Athletics 5-3. Braves over the Marlins 6-3. And the Red Sox over the Blue Jays 11-5. And then tonight in the NHL playoffs, the Kraken and Stars, no score there in the first period. The Florida Panthers get a 3-2 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs to take the 2-0 series advantage. So that does it for us here in the studio. We will conclude this broadcast. And again, we have no games tomorrow for you here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We're back on the air on Tuesday for Musselman Martinsburg in the first round of the sectional tournament. Looking forward to that one in high school baseball. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long, everyone, and have a good night.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, The Skinner Law Firm, Laddie's, Trips Flooring, Jambo Construction and Fencing, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Honda of Winchester, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, Rock's Local Markets, CMA Toyota Chevrolet of Martinsburg, Orsini's Home Store, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and by Hagerstown Ford.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talkradiowrnr.com. All rights reserved.